Turn me up, I like my money like I like my niggas. Scream, face card, never decline, know what I mean. Act up and you gon' make me make a scene. Only time you hear my voice is when they play me on the screen. Got bad habits, I'm not the one you wanna keep. She a trap star, put that lady on a tree. Got her ass so shook, she shaking like an apple tree. Yeah, this life ain't meant for you, but baby girl, it's meant for me. This lifestyle ain't meant for you, it's meant for me. This lifestyle got girlies clocking on my teeth. This lifestyle can get you far, know what I mean. This lifestyle ain't meant for you, it's meant for me. What it do? This my boo, she from the south. We running man just like these bitches run they mouth. I got the juice, but they still claiming it's a drought. If I say I'm coming through, I'm about to flip the house. That boy crazy, say he tryna have my baby. Hold on, Slim Shady, just like Mariah, drive him crazy. Got him stressed, make him feel it in his chest. Ask him how it feel, just like a bullet with no vest. This lifestyle ain't meant for you, it's meant for me. This lifestyle got girlies clocking on my teeth. This lifestyle can get you far, know what I mean. This lifestyle ain't meant for you, it's meant for me. Turn me up, I like my money like I like my niggas. Scream, face card, never decline, know what I mean. Act up and you gon' make me make a scene. Only time you hear my voice is when they play me on the screen. Got bad habits, I'm not the one you wanna keep. She a trap star, put that lady on a tree. Got her ass so shook, she shaking like an apple tree. Yeah, this life ain't meant for you, but baby girl, it's meant for me. This lifestyle ain't meant for you, it's meant for me. This lifestyle got girlies clocking on my teeth. This lifestyle can get you far, know what I mean. This lifestyle ain't meant for you, it's meant for me. What it do? This my boo, she from the south. We running man just like these bitches run they mouth. I got the juice, but they still claiming it's a drought. If I say I'm coming through, I'm about to flip the house. That boy crazy, say he tryna have my baby. Hold on, Slim Shady, just like Mariah, drive him crazy. Got him stressed, make him feel it in his chest. Ask him how it feel, just like a bullet with no vest. This lifestyle ain't meant for you, it's meant for me. This lifestyle got girlies clocking on my teeth. This lifestyle can get you far, know what I mean. This lifestyle ain't meant for you, it's meant for me.
Girl Alive and Bros, welcome to Let's Address It. Okay, so this is where the controversy, confusion, and cultural chaos gets handled properly. Baby, I address past and present scandals, common misconceptions and internet myths, wild viral moments, and old drama that still needs resolution. The things people think they understand until we dig deeper. If it's wild, weird, or wrong, baby, we're pulling up the timeline, the document, and the receipts with some grown woman commentary. Because I address it all, you might as well just call me Miss Addie. Let's get into this mess. Hey, Girl Alive and Bros, and we're back. So, I told y'all because, well, like we kind of decided after last night's call that we reviewed where it was painfully obvious that old girl wanted Nesto's hand in marriage, and it just made us remember how she was always trying to downplay their relationship because she didn't want us to realize what a big fool she was. But we found out any damn way. Is that right? Okay. Shout out to the Vibers. Welcome home to the Vibers. Okay. Listen, what's going on? Messy Sissy. That's my type of name. That's my type of name. You're on my type of time. What's going on, West Side Story? This is true. So you missed it, girl. You better get the playback. You better get the playback, girl. We was cutting up. Okay. It was our type of carrying on last night. Okay. So listen here. We got this here interview. I never even reacted to V's interview with Sonya. And partly because it's like, y'all want, get her views. You know what I'm saying? She was just really kind of making a break into the sector when she did that. So I was like, let her get all her views. You know what I'm saying? So let's get into it though. Let's get into it. Um, or if there's another interview situation that Sonya has done that you guys would prefer, let me know now. Okay, let me know right now. And we could do that one too. All right. So let me get it to where I can definitely see what's going on here. Okay. All right. So who is this? This is True says, hey Muffin, can I get a birthday song before I fall asleep? My ass is getting old, baby. I don't know why people don't realize we celebrate old asses over here. Okay, shout out to the old asses. Amen. Okay, this is true. Girl alive, you know we love you. Okay, you've been carrying on with us with the Vibers for quite some time. Happy birthday, Muffin. Okay, we wish you abundance. We wish you peace. We wish you love. We wish you everything that you want and desire to your highest and your greatest good. Thank you so much for letting us know. Okay, and because we don't want you to fall asleep, Vibers, let's love on our girl alive. Okay. Even though she says her ass is getting old and she might fall asleep. Happy birthday to you. And let's get some Viber wishes for you real quick. Okay. We also wish you this.
I hope your favorite drink is always miraculously in your refrigerator.
I hope whenever you check your bank account, you got more money in it than you actually expected to be in that motherfucker.
And I hope every time you go pay your utilities, that shit say zero balance due.
And I hope that every time you crank your car up, it's a full tank of gas in it.
Happy birthday, sweet pea. Happy birthday, sweet pea. Happy birthday to you. May our good Lord bless you. May our good Lord bless you. May the good Lord bless you. Happy birthday, sweet pea. Don't worry about nothing. It gets better, trust me. Happy birthday, sweet pea. I love you, sweet pea.
Amen. Happy birthday, sweet pea. Girl alive. All right. So let's get into this mess. Before we get into this mess, okay, shout out to those that sponsor us so that we can keep the lights on over here. And StreamYards and Ecamm and all that shit. Okay. Shout out to the sponsors who sponsor with amazing products that we use ourselves. Okay. One of our sponsors, the Sweet Yoni, we have been using them for several years. Best stuff on the market, pH balance, nice, fresh, clean smell, great ingredients, perfect for sensitive skin. You're gonna love it. Okay. So let's get into these sponsors and then let's get into this interview.
Experience the ultimate in feminine care with the Sweet Yoni Lavender QG Gel Wash. This soothing, lavender-infused formula ensures freshness and comfort all day, elevating your hygiene routine. Click the link and shop now.
This product is so important because not only is it produced with care, but it actually has proven results. There have been over 10,000 units of this sold. The company name is shareabutters.com, and this was developed with love by a woman who simply wanted to help her beautiful daughter as she recovered from the devastating effects of cancer, chemo, and radiation burn, and has helped many others with fading stretch marks, eczema, and many other skin issues. Check out the website as it has tons of other valuable products. Check it out. There will be a link and a discount code pinned in the comments section of this video. All right, so we already know this demon that's named Sonya, she about to get started. And I don't know how many lies she about to tell. Okay. All I know is she about to tell some lies. Who gonna be the lie catcher in the chat? We need somebody to be the lie catcher. I need somebody on deck to count the lies. Okay. So we need we need a lie tally every time. Who the lie catcher? Somebody got to be the lie catcher. Okay. Without Kelly Cooley said, let me burn my sage. Okay. All right. I got you. Okay. Because, baby, we might as well. Yes, child. Let's get some sage. I'm glad you said it. So y'all don't know your girl is always prepared. Because, see, it's all manner of demons. Okay. All manner of demons floating around. Okay. Yes, Lord. Okay. All right. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and, yes, get my obsidian prepared. Okay. I'm just saying. Okay. We already know. Oh yeah, I'm prepared. Okay. Oh, I'm really about this life, honey. I'm really about this life. Y'all be playing. But your girl is for real all day. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into it. No, we definitely can't keep up with, but we do want to have a bit of a lie tally going on. Okay. Now, Nesto Shackle says she just lied just because she breathing, huh? If she breathing, she lying, child, baby. I know. All right, let's get into it. Shout out to V. Lenore. Okay. I think this interview is over a year old by now, right? Yeah, it definitely is. So let's get into it though.
Too famous, girl.
In a negative way, of course.
YouTube infamous? Is that what it is? You think that's what it is?
I'm YouTube popular. Let's say that.
She YouTube popular. Sounds like oh, I got a YouTube channel. It's going around YouTube. It's kind of big. We're not gonna talk about that right now, though. That's what it's giving, baby. That's what it's giving.
So let's talk about it. Where are you from originally?
Cleveland, Ohio.
Okay. And so you're from Cleveland, but when Ernesto met you, were you living in Georgia at that time or you were living in Florida?
I was living in Georgia.
You were. So you were living in Georgia. Okay. In Atlanta? In the Atlanta area?
In Buckhead. I lived in Buckhead.
Oh, okay. See, I'm thinking you moved there because of the case. That's not the situation.
No, yeah, it is.
Oh, okay. I finna say.
I moved here I was here for a year. Then I moved back to Miami to open up a business.
Okay.
And then I moved back here because my lease was up and I was going to go somewhere else. But
what business did she open up? Look at a snack in the meal. Lie. Can somebody tell me what business she opened when she moved back here? What business, baby? What business? Somebody tell me.
because his case was doing what it was doing, and I kept traveling back and forth from Florida here, I came here to kind of help with his case.
Okay, so let me understand this. So when you met him, you were living in Atlanta. And so you guys only met, how many times did you guys meet before he was actually arrested?
In person?
Period.
That's somewhere around 5 times in person.
5 times in person.
In a year and a half span. After I met him, I was hospitalized 2 months after I met him.
Imagine meeting somebody 5 times and then literally ruining your whole public image and your life for them. And on top of that, they married to somebody else. Shame. Shout out to my girl, Carmo Cutie. Thank you so very much for the super sticker. I appreciate the support, girl. Thank you so very much. But I'm thinking of a lie that she is omitting, lie by omission. Didn't we just listen to the call yesterday? Why is she trying to the whole thing about her saying she moved here for a business when clearly she told Nesto why she was moving in just the call the other day. Let me find Maury Povich, baby. Let me find more because I'm gonna have to put Maury Povich up every time this girl lying. Okay, I'm gotta do it.
I don't.
Okay, so how many times before you were hospitalized did you get to meet him or see him?
Twice.
Okay. And then you went into the hospital, and you were in the hospital for how long?
30 something days.
Oh my goodness.
Hmm.
Do you want to share a little bit about why you were even in the hospital?
It stemmed from me getting shot back in 91. So I had some,
from 91. So that happened in 1991, but
it was 30 years later, I had a blockage from scar tissue that developed over the years. And so it was Christmas Day, 2020, that I got sick, but then I was hospitalized 2 days later.
oh my goodness.
And then I was supposed to only be in the hospital for 3 to 5 days, is what I was told.
Mm-hmm.
And it ended up being a month and a couple days. He messed up.
So you mentioned that in 1991 you were shot. You want to tell us just a little bit about that? A note on, and by the way, you guys may have seen her on Tasha K, Infamous Sylvia, who is actually a friend of this channel. I like to consider to be one. And you've done some other interviews as well. Can you tell us just?
I did one other than that. It was just Sylvia, Tasha, and this.
My, have things changed? Ain't it crazy how we was all like cool? You know, I'm not trying to ruin the mood, but people will ruin the environment with their bullshit. Okay. It's like it did not have to be that. Nobody was coming for Sylvia. And contrary to popular belief, nobody cared about, you know, someone wanting to take their content a different direction. Sylvia started doing bullshit. We were all cool with her, even though we knew that she was a damn dunce. We knew, right? It's just even thinking about that. Just think about how the sector was sectoring then versus now. Okay, we did get a couple of interlopers, right? And Sylvia and another spectacle of a person that needs a demonic needs, you know, some demon work on her ass. They just literally fuck it up. They just literally fuck it up. You know what I'm saying?
It's one other Judge TV with the T. That's a small channel, I think.
Yep.
I don't really follow the channels that on YouTube. It's four that I have the biggest issues with because they always like, you know, say the most nastiest things. But it's a lot of people that has done the story. I just don't go on and read it or follow it. Pretty much. Unless somebody tells me, then I'll go.
I was trying to put my Maury Povich thing up there, and I ended up putting Michael Jackson's churn with his mama. Speaking of which, since I put it up there, let me go and tell y'all what I was thinking when I grabbed that picture. Why are we still walking around acting like these is Michael Jackson children? Why is Catherine sitting up in between them two white babies, knowing good and hell well, don't none of them belongs to her child? Why, Jesus? Okay. But what I was trying to pull out, okay, was Maury the Povich, okay, because every time she tell a lie, we got to bring him out. We got to bring him out every time she tells a lie.
Go and look at something.
So tell us just briefly what happened in 1991.
Oh, broke up with a boyfriend, and then he came over after we had to break up, whatever, for one last visit or whatever, and ended up shooting me and several people in the house.
I'm very sorry.
And then he passed. After he shot somebody, they shot him. So
at the same event, he was shot as well. And
yeah, he was shot with one of his guns.
What?
Yeah. Why don't she tell the story like the story reads in the news article? Okay. This man almost fatally shot her sister and her sister's boyfriend, and the sister's boyfriend got the gun and end up like those are details that I don't think could be damning, which I'm not one of those people that feel like people need to be pressured into getting on here and telling all their business and all that stuff. But girl, tell the damn truth. Tell the damn truth, Muffin, okay?
Yeah. It was kind of weird how it went, but I think it was kind of like, I think he was contemplating murder, suicide, or just murder, how it went. Yeah. It was just,
Okay. So with that said, let me ask you, so first of all, let me say I'm sorry to hear that. And two, it's a huge blessing, the fact that you are still here to talk about it. Did everyone survive?
Everybody but him.
That's well.
Mm-hmm.
So okay. So with that said, let's talk a little bit now. I just asked about that because I'm sure that shapes you. You know, when you go through an experience like that, you can't come out of it the same. You don't think, or do you think?
Well, I had like 3 boyfriends in a row that was kind of like that. So he just the one that actually shot me. I had a couple, you know, that was just as psychotic. But you know.
Abusive. And imagine, and you know what? And I'm gonna tell y'all something. Y'all know I'm a simp sometime, right? But my thing is this: the fact that you're claiming that you had 3 other men that was like that, right? One like off the chain that would shoot you, but she's basically saying that the other ones were basically the same way, right? You don't want to keep it a buck about what men will do to women, all because you want to suck up to this inmate. Okay.
Were they abusive? Were they abusive? The other 2?
Well, you know what? Let's say the one right after him, came over my house and put a gun to his head and said he was gonna kill himself because he felt I didn't care about him. And this was right after I got shot. This was the first boyfriend after I got shot. And then the next one after him said he was gonna kill me. That the only way I could leave him it was to die. And that he wasn't gonna miss like the one that shot me dead. So, but
Sonya, you must be really putting it on these brothers. What the hell is going on with you? What the hell?
I'm a nice girl.
You're a nice girl. That's what it is. Oh no. Why are you attracting this same
I'm a nice
dude?
girl. Well, you know, I was kind of trying to. Okay, so I was young when all of this happened, and you in your 20s. This all happened in my 20s, and you kind of don't try to pinpoint stuff because you're still kind of like a young. I was kind of like a young, you know, just out here type of
in the streets kind of thing.
No, I'm going to say kid, but I was still grown. I was in my 20s, but you kind of like how I do my children. I said I'm not cutting them loose till they get in their 30s because when you're in your 20s, you still aren't really a smart adult that, you know, you still need a lot of guidance.
Oh, that's really interesting because notice how for the victims of Nesto, the women that are in their 20s, they're all evil and they know what they're doing, and they're doing y'all know what I'm talking about? Think about how she talks about these women that at first was underage. She gives them no sort of concession for age. Nesto's their victim. And then to say that you cut you keep your basically a tight leash on your children, that's a lie. That's a lie. That is a lie.
Guidance. And so I didn't get any guidance in my 20s by any of my parents. So I kind of didn't put too much on the type of guy, the patterns and all of that in the moment until I got a little older. And then I kind of looked at what they all had in common.
And what did they all have in common?
So
criminal records.
It was just a type that because they all were different, but they all had one thing in common. So
what's the one thing they had in common? What's the one
thing?
They
had very bad relationships with their mother.
So it's their mom's fault. Okay. So instead of telling the truth, right? Instead of telling the truth that these men were felons and they wasn't shit and your picker is off, you gonna blame their relationships with their mothers. And I'm sure you're going to blame their mothers for the bad relationships.
Okay. Let me ask you a question because that brings up one of my questions. Did you have or do you have a close relationship with your parents?
My dad, I did. My mother, no.
Okay. So sometimes, you know, we are attracting who and what we are, or the lessons we need to learn sometimes. And maybe that's because you need to heal maybe that piece of you. Maybe that's why you were attracting guys who had that void with themselves.
No, well, they didn't show any signs till they showed the signs. It wasn't like it was like calling me out my name or putting their hands on me. It was one incident, then that, you know what I'm saying? And then with the other person who's trying to kill himself in front of me, you know, we were supposed to just hanging out. I don't want anything serious. And I was like, fine, cool, no problem, no pressure, you know. And then he caught feelings. And then, you know, because I was still on the agreement, which was this ain't gonna be serious. He came over with that. So it wasn't like it was something I kept seeing to know he's got an issue. You know, sometimes you don't know a person got an issue till you see they got an issue. And that's what it was, because they were normal up until that point.
But just so you know, the law of attraction doesn't care about the signs as much. It knows what's missing in you and what lessons you need to learn. And you're attracting something that needs to be healed. But we'll talk more about that later on.
Some good ones too. All of them aren't bad. Like I had some good ones.
I bet you did. Okay, so with that said, let's talk about how you met Ernesto. And for those of you that are just coming into the chat, hi everybody. If I haven't spoke to you, I'm sure that my my moderators will greet you properly. This is Sonya Durham Waller. So are you going by Miss Durham now? How you gonna change the name, Sonya, when you got a whole channel that's called Miss Waller?
So the thing what it is because my last name, Durham, that's my maiden name. It was kind of very popular where I'm from. So I was kind of trying to be like, so Waller was a nobody. No one knows me by that name, you know? So.
Is that a married, so you were?
That's my married name.
Okay. So you were married, when did you get married?
I got married in 2009.
Okay, how long were you married?
2014.
Been there, done that.
We dated on and off since 1989.
But let's tell the truth about that marriage, because your girl was the one that exposed the documents. Okay, they're still on Patreon. You just got to look through there. I'll see if I can bump it up to the post. If you guys, bump it up to the front in case you guys are curious about it. But they stayed in this. They were together for less than a year. I want to say less than 6 months. It took this man all those years to divorce her. He was having her served over and over and over again. Okay. So it's the lies for me. Okay. Like, girl, bye.
We were just like, you know.
Okay.
And we still talk. Like, we still talk. We still cool.
Okay, cool. Okay, so now let me just make this clear to those in the chat that may not know. I think everybody knows, but just for the hell of it. Ernest Williams, known as Ernesto or Nesto, correct? Nesto. He is the husband to Miss Shirley Strawberry, who is a co-host on the Steve Harvey Morning Show. And so tell us how it is that you became acquainted with Nesto.
I met him in Buckhead, looking at property. And we just started, you know, talking about stuff. I don't know how it came about that. Oh, I do. I remember now. He took a call in front of me, and the guy was talking to him about an RV. And then I was just listening. And then when he got the phone, I was like, oh my God, you like RVs? And he looked at me like, yeah. And I was like, you know, I started talking about RVs, and he was looking at me like I was crazy. Like, how do you even know? And I'm like, man, I've been following, you know, studying and trying to figure out what do I want to do with, you know, as far as tiny houses, RVs, all of that, container homes, because that's where I was trying to go. Like, I was trying to figure out, you know, what's my retirement or whatever. And so it just kicked off from there, and then we just started vibing off of that.
Okay. And just so we're clear, you said your retirement. Tell us a little bit about your professional history? Like what?
And y'all remember when she literally started this retirement business because I was very open that I was retired, right? So she started talking about she was retired. Girl, I understand though. But baby, getting a crazy check, I'm sorry, disability check for getting your guts shot up don't qualify as retirement, muffin. It don't. Okay. Shout out to Chismosa for life. Okay. Gossiping for life, baby. Thank you so much for the super chat. She says you are going to have to keep Maury on the screen. I feel like it. I feel like I should just move out the way and let Maury host the damn show, girl. For real. And shout out to my girl, Mixtress Monica. Thank you so very much. She says, what did the newspaper say about the I must have caught this late. But yeah, the article basically said that he ran up in there. He got her first. And I'm assuming because of how, that really is a traumatic situation that I really don't want to make fun of it, but she, he shot her up bad. And then he went and shot Trisha, and then he shot Trisha's guy, but Trisha's guy ended up getting his gun from him and getting rid of him, unaliving him. So that's what, that's that. Like, I just can't even imagine that is totally a traumatizing situation to be involved in. I wouldn't want no parts of that at all.
What's your business? You said you went to Florida to open a business, and I know you were obviously looking to open another business when you met Nesto. What is your background in?
Right. So my background is construction. My dad owned a construction company for a lot of years. 50 years he did construction. So I was raised doing construction. Then I went to school after I had my daughter, paralegal. In my 20s, I kind of doing it's kind of weird what I was doing. What was I doing first? I'm trying to think how this went after went to school. So I went to school. Then I I wanted to be a cop too. It's kind of weird. I wanted to be a police officer.
Really?
Yeah, but my license was suspended because when I was 17, I got into a car accident and my dad didn't fix the situation, so they suspended my license. So I didn't have driver's license.
So you wanted to go and be a police officer as well as be in and out the goddamn jailhouse and the penitentiary. Okay, Muffin, we believe you.
So they said I didn't qualify because I didn't have driver's license. And so I started breaking the law, doing a little hustle stuff. And then after that, I stopped, and then I went into working for my attorney who was my attorney when I got shot. That's how I met him. And then I ended up working for him. He did criminal law, family law, probate, all that type of stuff. And so I ended up working for him for a lot of years. And then I ended up going.
You was sucking his dick under this table. Let's just be clear. Okay. That's not the same thing, baby.
To Detroit for 4 years. And then I was bartending, waitressing, working at a law firm. And that's how I got into clubs.
Working at the law firm got you into clubs?
No.
V looks so confused with her pretty self. So we on lie number 32. The lie counter in the chat says we on lie number 32, child. Lord have mercy.
I used to work at this place in Detroit. Neither one of my parents drank, smoke, or did anything. So I didn't know anything about liquor. So as a side hustle, because I was never getting child support for my kid, at this point I had two, I started waitressing at this place in Detroit. And then in waitressing, went to bartending. And then I moved back to Cleveland, started flipping houses. The market crashed in 2008. Then I moved to Miami. When I moved to Miami, I was trying to go back into the law firms, but I didn't speak Spanish. So I ended up working. One of my friends hooked me up with Pops, who is Trick's father, Trick Daddy's dad. And so he was running a club called Diamonds Cabaret, which was an urban club. It was upscale urban. And I started working there. as a door girl. And I worked for the door. I wanted to be a bartender, but he put me on the door because I was like 38 years old at the time, which I was mad at first. But then the door, $1,500 a night. So the door was cool. I was like, I ain't mad at the door. So I just, the door was good. And I only worked like a couple nights a week. And I was making good money at the door, just greeting. And you see every.
So, okay, where are we with the lie counters? Vibers, what we at? Okay, Jay Jammin, you the official lie counter, okay? 36. All right. Sonya wants us to believe that she was making $1,500 a night at the door. At the door. Really? That's what we're girl. I just I cannot.
Everybody. And I was just like, wow, I like the door. And then so I ended up doing the office and the door because they knew my background. And then within 6 months, I was working in the money room. And I went from the money room to assistant general manager. This was all in under a year.
Oh, wow.
And
So you learned the entire business from.
Yeah. So I learned a lot. I learned a lot from him. This was a strip club.
Okay.
So, and at the same time, he left and opened up the original King of Diamonds in Miami. And so then I went and started working for other owners after that.
That would be Ben and Akinelli who fired her. And she was never like the manager. She pretended to be the manager.
Okay. And I did property management as well as, you know, overseeing strip clubs. I worked under the owners over the managers.
Okay. Now let's go back a second because two things I have a question about. One, you mentioned that you went to work for the attorney that was your attorney when you were shot. Why did you need an attorney when you were shot?
Victims of crime. So, you know,
you have an attorney that's assigned to or
yeah, so they'll give you it's money that the state will pay you for being a victim of a crime. And what they did was they just paid my bills for me.
Okay. And then the other thing you mentioned was that you went to school to become a paralegal. So you're an actual licensed paralegal?
Yeah, I went to school. Well, school's not open no more, I found out, but yeah.
Okay, so the school that she went through, who we found out through a girl that also shares a baby daddy with Sonya. We need Maury up there. Baby, my arm is gonna get tired. Okay. And I guess the Vibers are saying we are on which lie? We're on lie number 49. Okay. We're on lie number 49. But what she went to was court reporter school. And she dropped out after a few days. Okay. What's going on, Wayne? Oh Lord. We're on lie number 50. JJ says we on lie number 50.
I went to Academy of Court Reporting in Cleveland, Ohio.
Okay.
This was in the 80s and the 90s, so it was like way long time ago.
Okay. All right. But you didn't want to continue that work?
I like it. I kind of, I was recently doing it as a fallback, but when I got into the club business, the money is like,
well, yeah,
the money's like this. What you make in a month, you make in a week at a club. So the money's different. And then working in a club, like when I had worked briefly last year for this attorney, and it was just him and I, it was crazy boring. I was just like, because I was 15 years working in the club business. And I was just like, can I do this? This is so slow. This is so, oh my God, this is boring. So, and then I just had to be like, yeah, maybe I just need a vacation, a work vacation, and kind of took it like that. But it was slow.
Sonya, do you attract drama? You think that there's some people that like a little bit of, they call that excitement. I call it drama. You think you like a little drama? Because you had 3 men that brought drama. And now you in some drama now. So I'm just asking.
This is the biggest drama. And him and I both be like, how did this even spin to this situation? Um, but I don't like drama. I'm very low key. I don't hang around a lot of people. Um, I don't like drama. I try to be very, quiet. The person that's the quiet one in the room that you didn't even know was there. I'm
Okay.
not the rah-rah.
Oh,
You know,
yeah, okay.
I got a
That
sister
doesn't
I
mean
got a rah-rah sister, but I'm not the rah-rah sister. I'm the quiet one.
that doesn't mean that you don't like
You're literally the loudest hoe in the room. You're literally having to be you won't even let anybody talk. So like how can you, girl, like why did she tell that lie? You get me? Thank you so very much, girl alive. She says, please Google Trick Daddy Father. Oh, hold on. Hold on, Jesus. What you want me to do, girl? You want me to Google Trick Daddy Father and see his profession? I'm about to do it. I'm about to do it. I don't know if you saw my comment, Aaliyah TV, but girl, get us some polls going. Um, Trick Daddy's father's profession. That's what we're doing. This seems messy and I love it. Trick. So his dad is this Charles Young guy, I guess. Y'all. Y'all, I didn't even know this. I didn't know this. What lie we at J Jammin'? Trick Daddy was a pimp. And she said Jesus Christ. Jesus. Trick Daddy's daddy was a pimp. His daddy was a pimp, Jesus. Oh, Lord have mercy. What the hell? She sure did say that she was working for him. Do you know what? The lie detector determined that that was the truth. Let us continue.
drama.
I don't like drama.
Okay, all right. I'll trust you.
I
Okay.
really don't. I don't.
So
Not
this,
unless it's on a movie. I mean,
okay.
again, like I said, the way we met, it was kind of weird, and it wasn't like I knew he was attached to somebody. You know what I'm saying? Because I know a lot of people that's famous, and so it wasn't like I kind of like hang in that space. You know, I kind of, like I said, when I worked in the strip club business, I met some of everybody because this was before they held in the NBA strike. Remember back in 2008, they had that big strike. So we used to get huge parties. It was every rapper, every R&B artist. It was all kind of ball players. It was just everybody went to Diamond's Cabaret in Miami. It was a very, very, very it was a very nice club. A very nice club. And that was kind of, well, I was in Detroit. So Detroit is kind of fun. Because Cleveland's kind of slow.
I have not kicked it in Detroit. You said Cleveland is slow? Is that
Cleveland
what you
is slow. Yeah.
Now, I'm not going to drag Cleveland. Okay? But some of the people that I know that are from Cleveland, I know this is not everybody because I have talked to some vibers that are from Cleveland and they seem pretty normal, right? But prior to meeting y'all, every motherfucker that I ever encountered from Cleveland was a goddamn, I swear before Jesus and 12 white men. Every motherfucker that I have encountered on the Lord's internet from Cleveland, Ohio, is a scamming, no joke, lying, manipulative, felonious weirdo. Every one of them. I kid you not.
Yeah. If you compare that to all these other places, Cleveland is slow.
Well, yeah, I could see that.
Cleveland is slow.
But
slow.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
well,
slow.
let's get back to Ernesto. So you met Ernesto when you were going to look at a property that you wanted to rent. Is that correct?
There was a property, it's a nail salon now, but it used to be like a workout spot, but it had a Felice sign in the window. And we met When we just started talking. We talked the first day, I think we talked, I think for 3 hours.
Well, hold on. You went to actually go start a business. This man, you
Yeah,
went
so
to the
I
property.
had a guy that I met on a dating site because I was on a dating site. And so the date turned into a business meeting. And then we ended up saying we're gonna partner up and just open up something in Atlanta because he did big real estate in New York. He was from New York. So he didn't know anything about the club business, and that was my background. So him and I was gonna do a gay club in Atlanta. And so I was looking for spaces because I was living in Buckhead. So I hadn't been to Atlanta really before. So I didn't know Atlanta. So I just knew the area that I was in.
Okay.
So I was looking around in the area that I was in. And this location was actually maybe 4 blocks from my house.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so you went over there to see the property because you want to lease it or buy it?
I saw the property a couple of times, but this day I took the number down. I called, nobody answered, but then later that day, because the grocery store is in between. No, the grocery store's on this side, and then it's a separate location, and then it's me. So I passed it, and then I saw somebody walking in, and then that's when I was like, here's my chance. Let me run up and see. Because the lease sign was still up.
Okay.
And he had just leased it. That was the
So he was
problem.
okay.
He had just
And
got
he saw
keys that
you.
day.
Say hi.
He just got the keys that day.
Was he by himself?
Y'all, we have been interrupted by a bully. Say hi. Say hey, everybody. Say hey, Vibers. Say hey, Vibers. You see it? You see your granny up there? Say hey, Vibers. There you go. All right. I'll see you later. Bye bye. Close my door. Bye bye. Hey, she want to get in. She want to get in the mess.
By himself, alone.
And you were alone as well?
My granddaughter was in the car with me.
Okay. So you get there, you find out the property that you're interested in is already leased by this guy. How did that turn? So, and let's go back. You said your date turned into a business meeting, and now a business meeting has turned into a relationship?
A date. You spent that one.
No, you spent that one, ho. Like, and first of all, let me tell you something, Yvonne. Don't come over here starting no mess. Yvonne said, is that her scooter behind her, baby? Always. That scooter been there, baby. That scooter was always there because you never know when you got to take flight. When you dealing with a felonious, ignorant motherfucker that's always on the run and doing some bullshit, you got to be ready to go. Sonya is not new to this. She is true to this. That motherfucker was going to be able, she was going to get out of Dodge if she needed to, baby. So that scooter had to be near. Okay? That scooter had to be near, baby. Okay? Now, let me go. Okay, Jay Jammin is at line number 102. Okay? Let me see what y'all doing over here. And I want to say a big shout out to my girl alive. I think this is I think your YouTube name is let me make sure. Let me see if it says it on this thing. But shout out to you for the Cash App and thank you so very, very much. Let me see. Love you back. Love you back. No, that's not who I thought it was, but love you back. And I don't want to say your name, but thank you so very much. I appreciate it. Thank you. And love you back. Child, I don't get it. Char Wilson, thank you so very much for the super chat. Char says, how are you keeping count? She breathes, she lied. Baby J Jammin need look, I'm gonna have to send J Jammin a check or something. Okay, I'm gonna have to send her a check. I'm gonna have to do it because baby, she been counting. And she didn't count it over 100 and something, you know, 100 something lies. Hold on. All right. So, oh, wait a minute. Thank you guys so very, very much. Hold on. Let me see. Shout out to JMM55 for gifting a membership. And shout out to Roddy Love, which is also my favorite doggy. I miss my Roddy. May she rest in peace, okay? And y'all pay attention to Miss CLC as she says, hit the like button, baby, because we need it, baby. Let's go.
You did that. Y'all did that. Y'all spit that. So
indirectly, it turned into a friendship.
So let me understand this though.
It turns into the friendship win, baby. Is it before or after he told you he wasn't that into you? Because we heard the phone calls, but we'll listen to you live.
You meet him, you all are exchanging information, and you talk for 3 hours. Did he ever say, I'm married? By the way, I'm married?
No, because the conversation never went there.
For 3 hours? What is there to talk about to a stranger?
Man, we talked about my history, my past, my shooting, business, work, the club business, my background in club business.
Why you tell this stranger all your business in the first 3 hours?
I get that from my dad. My dad can sit there and talk a stranger to death for hours. We used to always be in the car mad because he'd be outside just talking somebody to death. We'd be like, come on now. And he'd just be like, so yeah.
Sonya.
I don't know. Sometimes you just click with a person. I mean, that's not the first time that's ever happened. But sometimes you just click with a person, and he basically was listening for the most part. I think he chimed in after we stopped talking about RVs. He chimed in 1 or 2 times very briefly, but mainly he was just like,
okay,
for real,
he's listening to you. You know what they say. I teach a communications class,
Mm-hmm.
and what they say is the person in control of the conversation is the one that's doing the least amount of talking. He was listening. He was learning you during those 3 hours. What you think?
Yeah, he had to, because I was talking and he was listening, so he had to be learning.
What you learn? Did you? Okay, well, tell me this. What about? Or what? No, let me go back. I gotta assume that if I'm talking to a man I don't know from Adam, and he has 3 hours to spend talking to me on the phone after we just met.
No, this was in person.
Y'all sat and talked for 3 hours. You and the grandbaby too. Poor baby.
No. She got dropped off. My daughter came by and got her. So no.
Okay.
3 hours in person.
Oh, okay. So that feels like a kind of like a date.
No. There wasn't no drinks or food involved, so no.
Well, he obviously he knew, he had a good feeling that you were probably single. I'm guessing you were single. Were you single?
No, I told him so I did mention that I was engaged.
Oh, that's right.
Remember?
Okay. All right.
Because I wasn't into old people. So when I looked at him,
You wasn't into old people. Baby, you the old people. Why does she act like she's so much younger than Nesto? Baby, you're not younger than Nesto. Like, wow. Gail at night says she got dropped off or the daughter came and got her. Like, it's weird. She tells conflicting stories. Jay Jammin says she's at 119. 119, honey.
I was just like, he's old because, he looks old. So
does he look old?
Didn't know we were 3 years apart, but I was dating, always dated extremely younger people than me.
Because I'll be honest, when I look at him, I don't think, oh, that's an old man. Now,
listen, do Ben look young to y'all? Ben don't look young, right? Ben is not young, but I don't know, because, sometimes, they age a little bit different than we do, but he's not no young man. Why is she trying to act like for real? Ben gotta be at the very least, Ben is 50. I just need to go and dox him. But at the very least, he's 50.
When he starts talking, he reminds me of my family in Georgia.
He reminds me of my uncle. I used to always say that. My great grandmother's son. So my great uncle. He's remind me of my great uncle.
Yeah, he's got that old vibe to me, but he doesn't look particularly old.
He do now, baby.
You know what I'm saying?
I say his voice sounds older than he looks, but his conversation is young. That's how I feel like it is. Okay. His conversation is young.
Young
his conversation is dumb, baby. Okay, dumb.
sense of
Young is not in his
immaturity.
50s. He don't sound like he's in his 50s.
But what I'm saying, what I'm asking is, when you say the way he talks is young, do you mean like he's kind of? Do you think he might be a
No,
little immature? No, it's not that.
not that. Like how I can
He's
sound. Yeah.
youthful.
Like I like how I talk. Like I don't feel like I sound like somebody's grandma. You know,
Mm-hmm.
when I talk to people, and when I talk to people, and I'm, you know, chit chatting it up, and I'll, you know, say my daughter's 36, and they'll be looking at me like, your daughter's 36. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I know I don't sound too young, but I don't think I sometimes or all the time sound like I'm in my 50s unless I'm lecturing, in which I lecture my kids.
No, and I'm gonna help you understand what's going on there. The reason why you don't sound like a woman of mature age when you're talking, because you're dumb, right? You say dumb shit. You don't make sense. It's very nonsensical. You have a very limited vocabulary. Some of your decision making is giving 19 and 20-year-old. That's what the only thing that might be youthful. Now, that neck, however, tells all your business. Okay? That neck will never let you be less than a 60 ball. Okay? That neck is going to tell the truth no matter how many lies you want to tell, no matter how many filters in the name of Jesus that you use, all of this sorcery. I don't care, Botox and Hotox either. That neck is going to tell all your business, baby. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
So,
hold on one second. Her daughter, do we have a problem? Oh, okay, never mind. Okay, never mind. Okay, never mind. All right, I'm so sorry. Okay, so with that said, okay, girl, so when did you find that, before you found out that he was married, let me not even go there just yet. When did you know that you were attracted to him?
at the end of the 3 hours of talking to him,
Okay. Okay. And what was it about?
kind of attracted to him.
Yeah.
Trying to remember. Kind of, not all the way in.
Yeah.
Because I had just broken up with my ex maybe in July. This was the end of October. But I had just had a birthday in September, and then my ex took me out for my birthday, and we went and did dinner and gifts and all type of nice stuff. So we were kind of still on the phone, you know. It wasn't like a breakup, I don't talk to you no more type of scenario. You get me?
No, we don't get you. But let me tell you something. The woman he chose said that you acting slow. Woman he chose. I don't know why you think this is an act muffin. Baby, this is not an act. This is the truth. This is real. It's not acting. It's not playing. This is not a drill. Okay? She's slow. She's slow.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was. So I was kind of still, you know, occupied. Knew I wasn't getting back with him because we're 23 years apart. So I knew I wasn't getting back with him.
What?
But that's why I said I wasn't dating people my age. So he's 20. He was born the day after I got shot. So how weird is that, right?
Girl, it should have been a sign. Okay, but anywho,
he's a sweetheart. Look, he's a sweetheart.
I'm sure he is. He's a baby.
He said it should have been a sign.
He's a child. What you talking about? So you said your daughter is how old?
I've dated a lot of guys. Like my other ex just turned. His birthday's today, actually.
But she cannot be talking about Ben, like, because that's a lie. We can look at Ben and see that Ben is not no 20. Well, listen, no, just because of his relationship with Akinyele being as old as he is, it wouldn't make any sense. But I'll look up his age. But look here, you can't tell me that Ben. Did I show y'all? I showed y'all Ben yesterday, didn't I? Let me see if I still got it in my in this thing, because there's no way that Ben is a young person. He's just not. Let me scroll down here and see if I can find that picture of Ben. No way. I don't know if I have it up here or not, but Ben is not a young person. What photo is this? Hold on, let me see, what is this? I don't know what that is, but I don't think that's that. But Ben is not young. I'm sorry.
I gotta say happy birthday. And he just turned 40 today.
What?
We're
So wait a
we're
minute.
we're 15 years apart.
Y'all 15 years apart. But that
Mhm.
other one, he's younger than your daughter?
He's in between my kids, yeah. He's my son will be 24 and my daughter's 36.
Okay.
So they're in between. He's in between.
Wait a
Yeah.
minute. Trillery. She said, wow, I can't do it, but wow in my Nesto voice.
Wow.
Listen.
That's why I said when I met him, I was just like, he old, you know what I'm saying?
I guess he is old then. Hell yeah, he old, I guess.
I was like,
Now
he
that we
old. Because
have some
I just
context.
always, since I was in my 30s, I've always dated younger than me. So,
Jesus.
you know,
Okay, so
younger, younger, younger,
you
younger.
knew you were kind of attracted to him after that meeting. Did you guys just start talking on the phone like immediately after that?
Yeah, so we talked on the phone right nonstop since I met him.
Okay, did you
Yeah.
guys and then so you said there was two.
Correction, you talked on the phone, he listened. Because baby, we know how y'all conversations be going. Wait a goddamn minute. Jay Jammin said we up to live 160. Oh Lord. I'm sorry, 161. Wow, Jay Jammin.
2 months in between the time that you met him and you went into the hospital, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And you saw him how many times between meeting him and going into the hospital?
I saw him twice before I went to the hospital.
Okay. And then once you were in the hospital, did he come to see you?
No, it was COVID. Couldn't come see. Nobody can come visit.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. You were in there a month.
A whole month with no visitors.
Oh
I
my
hope
Lord.
nobody
It was
taking
the
a
worst.
picture.
I know. I'm sure.
What am I doing?
So that means your phone conversations have even more power or more
So I
powerful.
couldn't really talk on the phone because I had a nose tube in me, and I was really messed up in the hospital. So he would just text me every day. You know, how are you doing? What are the doctors saying? Why are you still there? You know, how did surgery go?
Okay.
Because I just, you know, I had a lot of stuff done. So
Okay.
yeah, so it was mainly texting me than anything.
Just like cheering date. Miss J, why would you say this? Miss J, go to the wall. Miss J said he decided to nut on her instead. Why would you say that, Miss J? Miss J, I have high expectations of you. Okay, where's the wall for Miss J? Miss J, Miss J, where's 504? Could somebody please take Miss J to the wall? Lord have mercy.
Anything because I really wasn't talking on the phone too much. I couldn't really talk.
Okay. So you weren't really talking to him then. It was all about the texting correspondence.
It was
You
more
get out of the
texting when I was in the hospital, yeah.
Once you got out of the hospital, how soon did you see him after that? Or
I got out around February 1st. And then I saw him in April.
Okay. All right. So you saw him in April. And then how long between the time that you saw him in April was he arrested?
The very next year. I saw him once in 21, which was April. And he sat with me for like 4 hours and we watched, I can't think of the name of that damn show. We watched some show that he loves to watch and I never seen it before. Because I was still like, it took me like a year to get somewhat normal from, you know, back into how I was. The doctor said 3 months, but it took a year. So that was 2 months after I got out the hospital. I was still like 80 pounds and like, you know, cropped over or whatever. And then, you know, my stomach I had 2 major surgeries. So my stomach was still left open. Because I had a lot of outpatient therapy. And then I didn't see him until the next year, April. It was a whole year I went without seeing him. I saw him that next April, and then I saw him once in May. And then he got arrested in July. Because I was, the end of 21, I started going to LA a lot for my niece's skit thing. I was doing skits with her. And then
Well, wait a minute.
February, I started looking at locations for my sports bar. So I was
Well,
looking in Miami. I went to.
Hold on 1 second. Let's go back though. You mentioned that he came to see you in April, sat with you for 4 hours that day, and you didn't see him again till the next year. Why?
Man, I was avoiding him. I wasn't trying to catch feelings. I made sure I didn't want to go around him. I didn't have a problem talking to him on the phone. But once I found out he was married, we had a conversation. And I was like, we can be cool. I just don't want to catch feelings for you.
Girl, come on. Can we stop lying today? In Jesus' name. You got Jay Jamming, count lie number 186. What the hell? Okay. Wayne said, yeah, I give V credit for this. It's hard to act serious with this chick. It is. V deserves the Nobel Peace Prize for this whole. She should be commended. Okay, because baby, it ain't no way, because I would have broke character real quick. By now, I would have broke character, baby. Yes.
Because I'm not trying to get all caught up.
When did you find out he was married?
2 weeks after we met.
So you had time.
Okay, so how did that come up? 2 weeks after you met him, you find out he's married over the phone, obviously, or when you met up, or how'd you find this out?
In person.
How'd it come up?
He brought it up.
What'd he say?
Oh.
So here's what we learning. Every step of the way, this nasty Nesto motherfucker have told you that he was taken and off the market, and you're the one that kept indulging in this relationship. Every step of the way, he told you. We heard this man tell you basically don't be expecting much, don't be wanting much. We've heard all of this. Baby, bye.
In some words, he said he was married.
What were the words?
I don't want to say what the words was because I didn't understand how he put it. It wasn't normal to me how he said it. So
try us.
Right.
Okay, these earrings.
Trust me, it didn't, but I still was like upset. But even though the way he told me, I was trying to understand like that don't make sense how he said it. But he said it. And then
and what'd you say?
Man, I was pissed because you know
because you were already trying to catch a little bit of feelings.
Because you wasted my time on some things. So I was pissed. And then I went home, I texted him, blocked him, do not call me no more, lose my number. I'm good. And then couple of days, a week passed, and for some reason I just kept thinking about him. And then I was like, you know what, I ain't gonna be mad, but we just gonna be cool. And that's what I told him. I was like, we just gonna be friends. And that's why I was like, I'm not gonna go around you. I said, because I don't want nobody falling in love. I don't want nobody catching feelings. I don't want to make this messy, of a situation, but we can be cool. And that's what it was.
How'd that work out for you?
Before he got arrested, it worked out fine. Oh my God. It worked out fine because I never saw him. And talking to him for 2 minutes on the phone, and he's cool. Ain't no pressure, But then when
you understand this, why do you have to maintain any kind of relationship with a person who just told you 2 weeks in that he's married?
Right.
Why would you want to continue?
Because one, I have right now currently about three males that I'm super tight with, and 2 of them are married.
Of course.
So I do have married friends.
Are you type
that are male? I'm cool with. Well, my one friend, me and his wife, we just met at the wedding. I spoke to her like right before they got married, and then I met her at the wedding because he just married her last summer.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but we're still like, it's just as tight as we was before they got married. It was, we never did anything, you know, had any type of romantic, you know, he's been my friend since 2011. So,
I will never understand the bitch that just, it's one thing. You can have platonic friends, right? I've had a platonic friend, right? But when people are married, you just don't arbitrarily, comfortably saying that this is my friend. No, that's that woman's husband. When you are when you have a platonic relationship with someone for the opposite sex, when they have a partner or you have a partner, y'all are all friends, unless it's some bullshit in the game. You understand what I'm saying? And that ain't got nothing to do with insecurity, because like a lot of on undercover hoes like to say stuff like, oh, well, you must be insecure if he can't have female friends, or he's insecure if you can't have male friends. Oh, it's called boundaries. It's called boundaries. You know what I'm saying? And I don't play them type of games with nobody. And I would never, when I was single and I had a platonic friend, their girlfriends were my friend, okay? And in fact, you fall back a lot when they become involved with someone, and they fall back a lot because you don't want things misconstrued. But absolutely, you become friends with them as a couple, okay? It's no, you don't go around saying that some woman's husband is your friend. Who does that? A bunch of hoes. That's who. Let's go.
um, we just always been cool. That was just always my boy. And then the other one, I've known, me and him been cool for 20 years. He's been married for 30 years. And me and his wife are cordial.
Cordial. Okay. Why is that? Why is it just cordial?
Because again, I don't really see him. He lives in Detroit. I don't see him like that. But I do talk to him a lot. So, you know, we had dinner together, me, him, and the wife, and all of that type of stuff, you know. So we're cordial. I mean, we ain't, hey girl, call me type, you know. So.
Now, the reason why I asked that is because, okay, so you're saying you were never romantically linked to either of those male friends.
No. And then when I got married, my husband had female friends. I didn't like, oh, okay, so now, you know, you can't see girls, you can't, whoever you cool with, you can't be cool with them. Like, I was not that person. I didn't care. You know, I'm gonna trust you, I'm gonna trust you. So the thing of it is, in my mind, the way it works, because I was raised by more so my dad, so I kind of think more like a man than more like a woman on a lot of things. I just feel like
she thinks more like a man. What kind of man do you think like? A good man or a bad man? A felonious man or a man that, like, what kind of man are you, Sonia? That's what I'll be trying to figure out. What type of nigga are you? Can somebody please, somebody say it in the chat. What type of nigga are you, Sonia? What type of man are you, madam, sir? The fact that she says she thinks like a man is insulting to men.
like if a person gonna cheat, they gonna cheat. You can meet somebody, sleep with them the same day. It doesn't have to be somebody you're friends with that you end up in bed with, you know.
See, that's the thing. Like, we're not the same. See, I've never just ended up in bed with someone. Okay. I don't even know about their life. And I'm trying to figure out why your whole ass do. Like, I look, let me go.
So
that's true. That's true.
I didn't have a problem. It was when I got
You end
cheated
up
on
in
in
bed with
life with
somebody.
relationships, it was always somebody they just met. It was nobody they was cool with. Because I've never put that stipulation on nobody I've ever dated. So they never cheated with friends. They always cheated with the new chick they met at the restaurant, at the grocery store, at the red light, you know. It was never somebody that was already in their life.
Okay.
And the way I think about it, if something was going to happen with somebody, it was like it would have transpired, you know, not came about, even though I met him after he was married, you know, not before he was married. But at the same time,
here's the thing though. Here's the difference. With Nesto, you know that you're meeting him, even though you went there for business, the business thing was done in the first 5 minutes of your conversation. So y'all spent 3 hours together that day, and then 2 weeks pass. You know, romance is what's leading this relationship at this point, and then you find out he's married. Why continue dealing with him at all?
Because he was cool as a person, and I just felt like I could be his friend, and I don't have to go around him, and I can control, my emotions. Because
He didn't want to be your friend, though, Sonya.
Hmm?
He didn't want to be your friend.
He was okay. He said okay, and
Of course he said
he
that.
never divvied outside of what I said. He never, the stuff that I said, he never.
Well, that part is the truth. Nesto always maintained that he didn't really want shit with her until, of course, Shirley didn't want his ass no more. Shout out to Jay Jammin, who is at line number 246. I'm sorry, 247. 247. That don't make no sense, okay? Shout out to my girl a lot. Miss J, thank you so very much for the super sticker. I appreciate the support, Muffin. Thank you so very much.
Pressure me to run into him. He asked on a couple occasions, and I was like, I ain't going around you. And he would laugh, and I'd be like, nah, dude, I ain't coming around you. I'm good. What you talking about? I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm not coming around you. So I'm like, we good just being phone buddies. So I was phone buddies.
Okay, but you got to know that you're still.
So how the fuck did you fall in love when he went to jail then? Because on them jail calls, your nose wide open. You in love. That's your soulmate. You telling this nigga that you don't want to be alone at 80 while he's in jail. But now you're trying to act like, girl.
Still, if you're phone buddies, because that's the thing about that talking, that communication, that phone stuff. Right. I feel like that penetrates a woman's heart more than a man. Like, I think, and more than like physical touch. Like, I really feel like
it depends.
Most women are mental, right? So I have always told, like, especially like if like a guy that asked my advice about, look, what you need to be worried about is a nigga that can get in your woman's head, right? Because the nigga that can get in your head can get in your bed. Women, for the most part, if they're healthy and, typical, they're mental, right? So if a man can get in your head, which is why you don't go conversing and having relationships with men without any boundaries, because the man that can get in your head can get in your bed. That's the truth.
Having intimate, girl, we weren't having boyfriend girlfriend conversations where we would talk. That's the thing. It was, how's your day? How's the restaurant? All right, bye. That was it. It wasn't like, I miss you. When can I see you? It wasn't all that boo type conversation. It was just that.
I'm about to call you Tanya. Sonya, but here's the thing. Think about it like this. You may have said you just wanted to be friends, but trust me, he stayed around because he was going to change your mind. They always are thinking they can change your mind. That if they just lay and wait and play that role, as soon as an opportunity presents itself, they will slide right. They think they can slide right in. He was doing that to you. Now, that doesn't make him a bad guy because of that. No, a lot of these dudes do that.
I can't say that because his text messages, when you look at me and him's text messages, it could look like it's two girls talking. It's none of that.
Where's Maury? Maury, come here. And the fact that you just, which I think Nesto is a bitch, amen. But the way that you so easily just effeminate, you just said when you're talking to this man that it's like two girls talking. Shame. Shame, shame.
Boo this, that, and the other, and da da da. It's none of that type of. And then plus, I'm dating all the while. We would talk about my dates, and I don't even know why they didn't play that because, when I was in Florida, I was on dating sites and I was dating and going out on dates, and me and him would talk about them on the phone, about my dates. I don't know why they've never played none of those calls, but we would always talk about the guys I'm seeing, and we would talk like we was just cool. Okay. We didn't talk about him and what he was doing because he had already said he's married. I didn't ask anything about, how's that going or, this, that, and other. Only time I would ask him something about is when he's not at home. Then I would say, why aren't you at home? It's 11 o'clock, it's 12 o'clock at night. Why are you outside? What you doing? And that would be it. Other than that.
And what would his answer be? Why was he outside 11 o'clock at night and he got a whole wife at home? Why was he out?
He was
calling your ass at that. I would be
He
so,
was, I was in town. I wasn't in town at the time. I was in Florida at this time. I was in Florida. So I wasn't even there.
But still, why he calling you at 11 o'clock instead of being home with his wife, who was probably in bed getting ready to get up the next morning for her show?
Well, so at this time he was dating the other girls. So he wasn't even,
Girl,
you know what I'm
did you know
saying?
he was dating girls?
I didn't know till I read the warrants. I didn't know nothing about the relationships that he was having. I never asked him what he was doing. You know, what you doing out here? Are you dating? Da, 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 da. I assumed he was faithful to the wife.
Okay, so let's get, well,
How did you assume that he is faithful to the wife if y'all are fucking?
could you assume that this nigga was,
Man, I didn't put too much thought into that situation. I was doing other things. I was trying to open up a business, you know, and I was dating, and I was like, he again was this part of my life. He was about that much of my life. So it wasn't like no whole focus on him. Only thing that kind of rang an alarm was because he called every day like a breakfast call. You know, you get his coffee, he'll call and say da 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 da, a 5-minute call, and he hang up, and then the call stopped, and then I was like, something ain't right, you know, and that's when he got arrested. And I was just like, he always calls just to say hi.
Okay, well, hold on. So you said you saw him once in 2019, was that right?
I didn't know him in 19. I met him in 20.
Okay, you saw him once in
twice in 20, once in 21, twice in 22.
When did you guys in 22? After, now that means you've known him at this point about a year and a half. Y'all been talking daily. You're clear that he's married. How did you all engage in this physical encounter you had? Because you guys
that happened in 20.
The one time you saw him? No, 20.
The second time I saw him.
Girl, what? Sonya!
We were 3 hours in. What are you talking about? No. We had 3 hours of conversation.
Her daughter's always, I can't. This is my moderator. Shut up, girl. Shut up, her daughter.
Tomorrow is not promised. No.
Lord, but see, if tomorrow's not promised, I damn sure there would be caught when Jesus come in the bed of a married man.
I did not know he was married. I'm under the impression that he's single like I'm single.
Wait a minute. So you mean to tell me this Negro slept with you before
he didn't
told
sleep?
You he was married?
No, he didn't. No, it wasn't an overnight thing. That wasn't overnight, or was it?
It was
I ain't got no good memory. I don't think that was a. Yeah, that was overnight. That was overnight.
So where did this take place? I just want to know.
Buckhead?
What, did he have an apartment? Was it at his?
I had an apartment. No.
So he came to your place?
Look at her about to lie.
Apartment.
Oh, he came to your place.
Yeah, I had an apartment. I lived alone. My kids were grown and gone.
Okay, because I was under the impression it happened in like an RV or something.
No, we talked in his RV when I saw him.
Baby, no, we listened to the phone calls, and the lie detector has determined that was a lie. Okay, y'all did it in the goddamn RV lot, honey. That's what you did. We all know that.
Some other times, but no.
So you met
We was talking in the RV, and he said go in the back, and I was like, no. The first time and I was like, no, like I
just got triggered because that's the same exact statement that he said to I Am Hazel. Get in the back. Same thing.
It was like I just met you, and we just was talking about all kind of like non-romantic type situations and all that type of stuff. I was like,
Sonya,
that would be weird.
Now I'm more perplexed because you said you met him. Y'all spent that day together, 3 hours talking, getting to know each other. Then I'm assuming y'all are on the phone nonstop. And then the next time you see him,
we wasn't on the phone nonstop.
But that's even worse. I'm trying to help it. Okay,
yeah, we wasn't on the phone nonstop.
Then that's worse because I'm gonna tell you why it's worse. So then you telling me you jumped right into the. I mean, I'm not judging you for wanting to engage with him, but for you have not to even
For the record, I'm judging. Okay.
ask whether or not he was either seeing somebody or married, knowing how these
You know
things
what? I
are.
just assume if a person went there, you got to be single. That's just my being
Why you
naive.
think that?
Man, I just be thinking people move like I move because
He's
so
a dude. He has a dick. Do you have a dick?
Yeah.
Because that's
No,
how
I
they
don't.
work. That's how they think with them things. Okay.
I be trying. You know what?
V is dragging a slow, meticulous drag. She just asked this hoe, does she have a dick? But V, you got to remember, this is she told you she a man. She been trying to tell us. She been trying to confirm her gender for a long time. Her he, him pronouns.
Call me napping on that one, but I really like. I don't know, what was my head at in that period of my life? What was I thinking about? I don't know. I was, you know what it could have been too? You know what it could have been at the same time because I was not looking to be in a relationship. So I wasn't really asking relationship questions or like, you know what I'm saying? Because I wasn't really interested. But at the same time, I'm assuming you not with nobody because you in my face like this. Maybe that's where I was at. But I know I wasn't trying to,
You know that
be in no relationship.
Sonya, we ain't no spring chickens, okay? I'll be 54. I had to think about it. I'll be 54 next month, okay? Ain't no way in hell I'm gonna assume. Now you worked in nightclubs too? You can't tell me.
Yeah, I
You
worked in
just
night, but I
assume that
I
because
worked with
dudes-
females. I worked with strippers and stuff like that.
Yeah, you worked with females, but men came.
Right.
Men came, but I really
came to the
wasn't. I
club.
didn't really engage with the guys because again, I was over the managers. The managers would talk to the customers. I pretty much dealt with the finance, the structure.
Why is she lying? She's always trying to elevate herself and make it seem like she was in some sort of executive position in a sleazy ass club. Like, shut the fuck up, girl.
But
And I kind of dealt with the girls because the guys was always trying to screw them. So I would deal with the girls a lot.
Okay, you may have dealt with the girls a lot. I get it. But you had to know in our 50s how these niggas work, how they function. And when I say that, I mean men are just like
Maybe
that.
because he was an old man, I wasn't thinking he was moving like that.
You and
Maybe
this
that's what
old
it was.
man shit.
I can't call it because I don't know what I can't 1,000% say. Maybe because he was old, I didn't think he was moving like that because people grow old and they get slow. Maybe that's what I was thinking, that he wasn't young and out here doing it all, and he might be old and slow. But he wasn't. He was old and doing it like he was
3
young.
years older than you, though. 3 years.
And that was even a shock to me when I read the
about the liquid.
when I read the warrants and found out about the other women. I was shocked because in my head I thought he was a faithful husband.
He can't be a faithful husband because he just fucked you.
No, this was after all of that. Like, we agreed just to be cool, but
y'all agreed to be cool though.
But I never asked him like, what you out here doing? Like, you see like you cheating. I never ever asked him anything about what him and his penis was doing.
Girl, you killing me.
It wasn't my place because we just friends. So, but I just assumed.
It's your place. If I lay down
just
in the bed,
assumed that he was just a married person, being married. I didn't, because I was shocked. I mean, if it's on the phone calls, I was shocked. I was like, boy, I wasn't shocked like mad, but I was just shocked like, oh my, I thought he was a faithful husband. Call me naive, but I was just, I was like, damn, you was busy in 21, 22.
Girl, stop this lying. Okay, shout out to my girl, Honeydew Brown. Hey, girl alive. Thank you so very much for the super chat. She says, I'm going to start from the beginning because I'm late. This clucker is already lying and I just got in here. My God, today. This goofy, okay? She left all the Chicago languages. Chicago people will call you a goofy in a minute, and clucker is a Chicago term, okay? It's always like home when Honeydew Brown comes in.
He started laughing. I was like, boy.
That's only the stuff you know about. Trust me, it
could be something that ain't even documented. Ain't no telling. That's what I'm saying. Ain't no telling.
Exactly.
Yeah, ain't no telling. How? I mean.
So, okay, we talking about this encounter.
All right, don't just make that be right. I'm thinking, yeah, maybe. Might be some more.
Okay, but let me say this. I know, and I'm only bringing this up now because we're here talking about this little encounter. And I'm not trying to get in detail of your intimate business, but I would be curious to understand when you heard in the warrants about, was it in the warrants where it talks about toys and liquid Viagra and stuff like that? Did you see any of those things?
It's in the warrant, but it doesn't talk about the use of it. It just said he possessed that at the time of the arrest. It was
Well, that's
in his
enough
bag.
for me to know he uses it. He wouldn't have it if he didn't use it. I mean, he would,
It was right. It was on him when he got arrested. They mentioned it, right? Which he had other things on him that they could have mentioned. I think they were just trying to be messy when they did that, because there was no need to mention that, because they weren't illegal items to have. And then we was in court and they asked, did you test the items to see if any of the victims' situation was on there? And she was like, no. So what was the whole point in bringing it up? You didn't test it. You didn't try to link it to anything.
Girl,
when you got sex crimes and stuff and sex toys, that's why. Like, are you serious?
Veering off. Come back. I want to know, did you see any of these things? Or did
I never with the Viagra thing, no.
Okay.
Toys, yeah, but not the Viagra thing.
Okay, so toys did happen.
And you know what, too? But then I've never dated nobody that old, or dealt with nobody that old. So,
hi, love. Let me say this. Love is saying what I said. Faithful husband messing with you, how? So he can't be faithful and talking to you on the phone.
Listen, me and him was not having a when we decided to be friends, we weren't having messy conversations. And again, that was a one-time thing that I was like, we ain't doing that no more. So I don't know if that was a one-time thing that he just happened to, because some guys cheat one time. It's not, you got people that only cheat one time. I didn't know he was a serial cheater.
Sonya.
He's a serial cheater, but I didn't know at the time. Again, I didn't ask.
This is her narcissism speaking. So, oh Lord, Jay Jammin is at line. Oh wait, there's been an update. She's at line number 358. So here's the thing. So she wants to believe that she's special and she's the only person Nesto ever cheated with. That's what we're doing.
Okay, so let's move on now.
Wasn't my business. Once I said we just gonna be cool and friends, wasn't my business, because my other friends, whatever they out here doing, I don't even ask, because their penises, once I say we friends, their penises is not my business. But I don't even ask.
But if I ain't touching it, let me say this: it was your business before all that shit happened. It was your business, and next time, don't let that happen again. You better ask the right questions, okay?
Shut up, Wayne.
Oh, I do not. I be on it. I be like, are you single? Like,
okay, all right.
Because man.
Let me ask you this. Okay, so once he was arrested, you're saying
that was the first time that ever happened to me. Okay. Why people keep trying to ask, are people afraid to bring their men around you? I'm like, girl, please. No. That was the first time I ever did anything with somebody that was somebody's situation.
Girl, that's a damn lie. The handicapped man, didn't he say something about she was mad at him because of his wife? Girl, you've been trying to take people's husbands. It's a shame you ain't never been successful at it. It's a damn shame. But it's something about when she cocked her head to the right and I got a hold to them edges. Something about that situation. Say J.O.'s messy ass sent me this. Hey, Viber, say J. Okay. And she sent this to me. And I'm gonna share it with y'all, and it just kind of reminded me of this when she cocked her head to the side. Okay, you look beautiful with your hair tied back. Me with my head tied back. Okay, it's giving. It's giving. That's her with her head tied back, right? I'm just saying, y'all can thank messy ass Say J. Okay, for this picture. I'm just saying, y'all. It's not my fault. This AJ is messy.
Never date people that got girlfriends, fiancés, or wives. That just was a slip up.
That was one of my questions.
That was a slip up.
Okay, that was going to be one of my questions, honestly.
Yeah, no.
Okay. All right. So
No.
let's move on. So by the time by the time he is arrested, you've seen him 5 times. Y'all talked or text on the phone pretty regularly, and then he's arrested. So you find out he's arrested because you said you didn't get a call. How did he call you? I'm just curious.
He would call like a breakfast call in the morning, like start your day, like a start your day call.
But I mean, from jail. From jail.
When I found out he was in jail, I wrote him because he didn't know my number. It was a month after he was in jail. It was like around August 29th.
Hold on. When that happened, were you back in Florida?
I was in Florida still.
Okay, so you're in Florida at this time, and he's in jail here. Got it. Okay, so you wrote him a letter when you found out where he was? Okay. How long does it take the mail to get to him? Like weeks or?
That might have took him like 3 days to call me after I mailed it, maybe 3-4 days.
That's pretty good. Okay.
But it was a paper thing. It wasn't, I didn't know about the digital stuff they got going on.
Okay.
I sent him an old school letter in the mail.
Mm-hmm.
And he called me. And I was like, why are you still in jail? Because I could see how when he got arrested and everything. I'm like, why are you still in jail? All your stuff is bondable.
Well, wait. At that time when he was arrested, how many charges was he facing at that time? 2? And what were those 2 charges?
When he first got arrested, he had a warrant from Calvin, which was the theft by deception.
Is that the one about the car? Is that dealing with the car?
No.
Okay.
Okay, so he had somehow with that car situation, that situation is squashed because that's not even one of his charges. That situation is squashed.
Okay.
He had the one thing with that one thing with Calvin, and then they went and pulled a search warrant on the 9th. They executed a search warrant, and they ended up arresting the co-defendant because of whatever she had in her house. But the house he thought was his.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't turn up anything. It was her house that turned up some stuff that she was doing.
Okay, so wait a second. Let's go back. You said the 2 charges was theft by deception, and that was exactly what again? Explain what that meant.
That was the guy saying that he walked in his business and offered something about homes for vets and credit repair. And which again, that warrant was.
Okay.
It was
what, Sonia? Like, why is it that, like, have y'all heard her say at any time that, well, yeah, Ernesto did this crime. He may not have did this or did that, but he did this crime. Have y'all heard anybody have she said that? Have she ever or basically she's saying that he's innocent of everything? Because with the women and their money, that was just a relationship and they're just mad. Like, just Queen Nola said, I never understood her edges. It's like she lined her entire crown with the clippers. It's like the bowl cut from back in the day. What they would do with the little boys, they would put a bowl over their head and just go straight around the corner in a circle, like the Shogun in the karate movies. That's what it's like.
It was stating like they were strangers when they knew each other because they used to work together. So
okay.
It's very questionable, the warrant, but that was the only one he had at the time. And then when they did the search warrant thing, then they arrested Erica, and that's when they brought up the conspiracy charges with them 2 together.
Okay, so the 2 charges was the theft by deception and then the conspiracy. Conspiracy of what though?
Conspiracy to all the stuff that she actually did. So when she filed documents in the court, they said he conspired with her. When she showed up in court,
everything that she was doing by herself. So he had no parts of it, no parts at all.
Pretending to be a lawyer, they said he conspired with her.
That's right.
So every time she went in there and pretended, they said he conspired with her. So that's what the conspiracy charges are.
I was watching something recently that was talking about she was posing as his lawyer, correct? Now they knew each other for years though, right? Like decades, didn't they?
So people always try to say it like they was like this.
Well, Well, they kind of had to be.
That's
Okay, his wife didn't know her.
Sonya.
His wife don't know you either.
Y'all trying to say they've known each other for 10 years. I just met him. And I was out of town the whole time and sick. So no one was going to know me because I was sick the first year and then I was out of town the second year. I never was introduced or met anybody whenever I saw him. It was always just him by himself. So I was never around to meet anybody. She's from here, not from here, but she stayed here. She's been here forever, Erica.
Mm-hmm.
And then if they live next door, like people tried to say, and
Yeah,
she's on
that's
his
what I was
page
gonna
3
say.
times. He got her on his page 3 times, his IG page.
Yeah,
But
so that's what I'm saying. But he knew her for 20 years, and they are partnering on some stuff. And he trusts her enough to have her come in there, and she's pretending to be a lawyer. Now you're not gonna tell me he didn't know she wasn't a lawyer,
Right.
I can't ask that question to him, and I don't know.
right?
Only thing that I said about that with him, because I don't know, he's never mentioned anybody to me before he went to jail, so I don't know what their relationship was. I only assume that they weren't that close as people tend to want them to be. I think they were close on some.
What do you mean you assume that they're not as close as people want them to be? This is what he was declaring. It's his captions that tell us that they were close. It's his captions and his words in the videos that speak to their relationship. You just want to be in denial because you hating. You want to be as important as Erica King and you want to downplay his time with her because it makes you feel a type of way. And you might as well get over that shit, Muffin. Okay, Jay Jammin said you at 392.
Things, but I don't think they were close where so she know the kids, she's, coming over here and then da 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 type stuff. I don't think they were up. I don't believe they were personally close.
Okay, so
Only because, like I said, he called me when he went to court for that charge, and they were reading off the charges, and they were talking, and they read off her name. He didn't know who it was. He thought they had the wrong person in there with him. So for him to be that close, for them to say, like everybody trying to assume they're that close, he would know her married name. It's her married name, and he didn't know it. She thought
well,
he
hold
only
on,
had
hold
10.
on. Before we go there, I don't even want to get into what he says he knew or didn't know. Let's just talk about it like, okay, I'm pretending like I'm you in this moment, and I'm learning these things, right? I'm learning about these charges that this man that I don't really know has, right? He's got 2. At this time, he only has these 2. One is the credit repair thing, okay? The other one is, I'm sorry, what was the other one? The second one?
The conspiracy
The
charges.
conspiracy of what she was doing, which was also some sort of like scamming kind of situation, right? Per se, quote unquote.
Well, yeah, this is August, September of 22, right?
Okay. So when you're learning these 2 things, and I guess in your mind you're thinking, well, if he says he's innocent, we'll just see how this plays out. Is that what you were thinking at that time? And you were just going to support him as a friend and believe what he said about it? Okay, I'll give you that. Now, when these other charges came down, which are much more serious, right? We've got
in January, the CP charge came.
CP, and yet you guys were, as you know, we're talking about child corn, on the cob, and the other one is SA, right?
That didn't come out till July of 23.
Okay, so now let's talk about the fact that now you're learning about these charges that actually sound very heinous to hear about, right? And now here's this man. So he didn't tell you he was married until after you slept with him. So that's deception. He omitted truth there. Because by not telling you, he lying. As far as I'm concerned, when you omit the truth, you lying. And he omitted that on purpose so he could do exactly what he did.
So I wonder what Sonya, because I did not see up to this part. I wonder what type of cape she about to put on for this man. Because these are the right questions, right? The fact that, like, look at her. Look at her.
Did with you. Okay.
She mad.
He knew better. He didn't have to go because he knew he was married. Right.
But that's deception. So then you don't know this dude. You really don't
It's
know.
not deception because I didn't ask and get the wrong answer.
Doesn't matter.
Yes, it is deception. If you get into a situation with a man romantically even if he's just flirting, if he's married or have a girlfriend, that is deception. Because the assumption always is that you're free to date. If you're trying to talk to someone, that's deception. Like, you know what? You need to come up off that mountain, girl.
Doesn't matter.
So
You
I don't feel like
I don't
feel like it was deception. I just feel like he knew better and he shouldn't have on that. I don't feel like it was deception. I just feel like by him being a married person,
that's deception.
he knew better.
Yeah, know better because he was deceiving his wife and you in that moment. It'd be different if he told you and then you guys agreed to, okay, I don't give a shit, and then you go do what you do. But that's not what he did. He didn't even give you that option.
And that's what I got. That was part of the argument that I gave him.
Exactly.
But my argument was I don't do that. And you messed my record up because I went my whole life not ever doing that. And that was an issue. That was more of an issue with me than, because I was like, I ain't never did that before. And I pride myself on never being that person. And then I get 52.
Yeah.
Screwed my record. So I had a problem.
Let me say this.
More
Hold
than
on,
anything.
hold on. AFV Media, thank you so much for your super chat. They want me to ask you about
the Hazel and Miss Jones thing. I don't know anything about that. That girl said it was 2016. I didn't meet him till 20.
Okay.
So that's not the question though. What do you think about it? I would have liked to know, what the hell do you think about those women and what they said about your man?
Okay. And then her daughter, my other moderator said, it's civil. So,
What's civil?
When you were talking about,
they trying to be funny. Listen, a couple attorneys agreed with me on that. So anyway.
Well, are they his attorneys? The ones that
they were speaking to me on behalf of his cases and stuff. Yeah, they was not the ones he have now. This is a couple of attorneys that I talked to that I was going to hire for him that do criminal law here. And then I spoke to a prosecutor and I spoke to a couple police officers. And like they said, they got to prove that the relationship had criminal intent. And how they try to spin it in court, she was trying to say, oh, he walk up to women and say, my wife is this, in hopes of trying to woo them and con them. And I was like.
And that's basically what Hazel and Nova Savannah said, that he literally builds off the fact that Shirley is his wife, which is why they have to submit to a strip down in order to come in. Like, girl.
Why would you pick a woman that looks like she's not doing financially well? Because there's a lot of women here that's winning, driving nice cars, carrying the bags, looking like money. So why would he choose?
And he ended up with you, though. Are you, ma'am, are you including yourself in that? Do you think you look like money? Because looking like food stamps don't count, baby. It don't count.
Somebody that didn't look like that. If it was a scam, you're gonna go after the prize. If you scamming people, you're not gonna go after somebody that look like they're not doing all that well financially.
So that's how you choose. You think that's how people choose their marks all the time, based upon just their appearance alone?
Common sense would tell a person. This is the thing. If you look at the lifestyle of a person, like when I met him, my bills were like $7,000 a month. If you got bills that are $10,000, $15,000 a month, and you trying to scam somebody, you're not scamming nobody that's struggling.
That's not true. Now I'm gonna tell you why.
It's a waste of time if your mentality feels the need to scam somebody that's struggling. Let me
explain something to you. Most people who get scammed are not rich people.
That's right.
Rich people are not the folks getting scammed. It's the poor people that get
right.
scammed. And if you have a credit, I'm just saying, and you
Girl,
said he
listen.
didn't have this business, but let's
If
say
he if it took
let me give you an
him,
example. Hold on. Let me give you an example. If you've got a credit repair business, that already tells you somebody's not doing well.
That's
because
what
they
it
got bad
okay,
credit.
so he said he didn't have one. So they didn't even have an official name. They didn't have it under the thing. He didn't show up with a card. And again, like I said, that whole situation with Calvin didn't even make sense because again, Calvin was a barber that worked in a barber shop with him. So why that whole, like I said, that whole warrant didn't even make sense. He didn't come in and meet him and say, hey, I got a credit report. Da, 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 da. He knew him as I work in the shop with him. He worked in his shop. So he was an employee. And then they said, oh, he picked him out of a lineup. Like it's worded as if there's two strangers who just met and he sold them this dream and he gave him some money. And I really didn't know him when in fact he did know him very well. So
does that, let's say he knew him for 20 years. If what he says is true, that he gave this person, he was sold a dream and he bought it, hook, line, and sinker. Does that make a difference?
well, the thing of it is because of the facts of certain things, the big facts of that piece of paper, I doubt everything on it. Because
Okay.
they could have just told the truth. If it was an honest, if this is what happened and it's a flat out crime, then why didn't you word it truthfully? Why did you word it like this and try to make it seem like he just walked in and introduced to be
they were
this?
under the impression.
So essentially, every fucking body is lying on Nesto. Everybody's lying on Nesto. And he's just this good guy who's being lied on and railroaded by all these people, men and women.
Of at the time, maybe
Hmm?
that hasn't been disclosed to them yet. Maybe whoever wrote the warrant, it hadn't been disclosed to them the truth
He had
behind
to
that
write the
relationship.
warrant the way the guy told him because
That's what I'm
he's
saying.
talking to a stranger. So why would the police could have only gotten what's on the warrant from the person who gave
That's
them the
my point.
information,
That's my point.
which
So
would be the victim. So if the
that's my
victim said
point.
this, right? So if the victim said this, that, and the other,
Mhm.
it just doesn't make sense.
Okay.
So I throw it out whenever the paper don't make sense. I just throw it out. Like I can't believe anything on it because he introduced
wait a
himself
minute.
as
Hold on now,
Ernesto.
Sonia. Now that's very, very contradictory.
Go ahead.
Because
And
this man deceived you, and this man is cheating on his wife. So if you can't, his wife can't trust him. What makes you think you can trust him? And now he's got these charges.
again, like I said, that's not contradictory because no, I'm not him aside because he hasn't even said anything past I didn't do it. That's all he said. He didn't say he didn't know these people. He just said I didn't do it. Right? He says he knows the people. He just said the stuff that they're saying he did on the paper. I didn't do it. Nothing.
Look, Peachy Bama, first of all, girl, thank you so very much for the super chat. I absolutely appreciate it, Muffin. Thank you. She said, baby, she talked too much for me. She really do. I'm sure she talked too much for Nesto too, though. Think about it.
Nothing past that. I'm innocent.
Wait, Sonia.
You can't really talk about anything else because he's not allowed to talk about his defense at all.
That's my point. When you asked him this, or when you've had these conversations, he's been locked up. He's been on recorded, recorded calls, right?
Right.
So that means he's going to say he didn't do it, even if he did it.
No, he could just say, I can't talk about my case. He didn't have to say all that. He could have just said, he told me I'm not going to jail for something I didn't do. I didn't do it.
He don't know you and you don't know him, and he knows he can tell you that and hoping you'll believe it.
You sound like the rest when they say you don't know him, but they believe it.
You sound like the rest. You sound like the rest of everybody that states the fucking obvious. Like, girl.
People they don't know. Don't nobody know nobody in this situation. So y'all don't know the people that's making the claim, just like y'all say I don't know the person that's being accused.
But here's
so don't nobody know nobody at this point. But I know him a little bit better than everybody knows anybody.
There's a difference.
So we're going to give Jay Jammin the rest of the night off because Jay Jammin has been doing an excellent job. It has got to be very stressful, very mind-boggling, as Nestor would say. But Jay Jammin has caught 500 lies. Okay. We need to give J Jammin the Maury Povich Lie Award, okay? Because she has been a lie detector in a sea of lies, okay? Help me now, Holy Ghost. This woman can catch a lie like Nesto can catch a hoe. Let's go.
The difference. The difference is he's one person where all of these people are saying all this negative shit about him. All of these people are accusing him of doing something wrong to them.
Really?
But
I alone.
it's just one of each of these people making these. I mean, they don't really know each other. There's no proof that they know each other.
The detective said in court, the two ladies know each other.
Okay. And even if they do, it's still multiple people saying something about a dude that you don't know at all, who was not honest with you.
So I'm only, like I said, I'm only going off of what I see and what I hear in court, and what I see on the warrants, and how the warrants don't make sense. So, you know, again, like I always tell people, let the evidence show what it is. If the evidence show he wrong and they right, then that's what it is. That's the only thing we can wait for is the evidence, because y'all can harp and say, well, you don't know them. Y'all don't know none of these people. None of these people. And like I said, the source of where everything is coming from is the biggest question of all. I can tell a story to somebody and leave out something and it can be a crime. But if I told you the whole story, it cannot be a crime. So we don't know the whole story. We don't know the whole story. We only know what the one girl said, or the other girl said, or the other girl said. So we don't know the whole story. We don't know, you know, like I said, they didn't bring.
All of these women are saying it about this one man. And here's the other thing, Sonia, that I really want to get an understanding for. You know, you and I talked a little bit yesterday, right? And
2 hours.
we talked for a long time. Wow. And while we were talking, you mentioned that, you know, you're his only boots on the ground for the most part. You're the only person kind of out here fighting for him. But Nesto has a wife. Nesto does he have siblings?
6 kids, 2 sisters.
He's got, so there's 8, so he has 7 siblings in? Is that what you're saying? Or
6 kids, 2 sisters.
Oh, 2 sisters and 6 kids. Oh, his 6 kids. Okay. So he's got 2 sisters, he's got 6 children, and you're the person that's the boots on the ground, and you just met him. They know this nigga.
Again, everybody. So my thing with that was in the beginning when everybody was talking before everything got on YouTube.
Thank you, a second meal.
They said he didn't do it. So this is the family saying it. I know he didn't do that. I know he didn't do that. That's not him. My father would never do that. And this is more on the serious charges. The stuff with the girls, again, like I said, I feel like it's civil because it was a dating situation. I don't know what
because a man can never do anything criminal to a woman that he's romantically involved with. Is that her logic?
Gave them, you know, they could say, because I know females when they involved with somebody and it don't go the way they want it to go, they get to turning and saying only things that make them look good and the other person look bad, and they omit certain things. That's a pattern with females. They love to say, well, you and what did you do? Nothing. You know, they omit certain things. So again, you're talking about women who are feeling some type of way. And again, all these things happened in 21. And then the other stuff at the other girl happened in 22. So if the girl felt in 21, the stuff that transpired between him and her, she didn't go to the police went to her in 22. So apparently she didn't feel like it was a crime, whatever that transpired between them, because she didn't go to the police. She didn't call the police and say, this dude just ran off with this, that, and the other, and he said this, and this is what happened. The police, when after they got and did everything that they did, they went snooping and on through his phone. Ooh,
that's their job.
Reading stuff. Let me call this girl and see how that's going and what's going on with that. And then a charge comes up. The thing with the other girl, she reported her car, but she didn't report anything else. Because all that stuff with the Zelles and the credit cards happened before the car.
It does not matter. This is what pisses me off with her. It was wrong for this man to lie to those women saying that they were paying for a service from him and him not to follow through. That's beyond relationship boundary crossing. Okay. This is not him saying, let me borrow $100 and then not paying it back. This is him saying, I'm doing this stuff. And so I'm selling this car for you. I'm doing this for you. This person is going to do this for your social media. I'm your image person or whatever. That is beyond. And just because you're in a relationship with someone does not mean that you cannot commit a crime against them. I am sick of this male identified mammy.
She didn't report anything to South Fulton but the car.
Okay.
So like I said,
think about it this way. If I gave you cash for different things, that's one thing. But now you got my freaking vehicle and I got to get around.
Not saying that's wrong. I'm just saying, if you felt that everything that you did was an issue, when you went to report the car, how come you didn't report all those other things?
Okay.
Maybe they didn't even realize that they could get compensation for that. Maybe they felt stupid. Maybe they didn't realize how illegal what he was doing was. Maybe they felt like, girl.
I'll give
That's
you that.
what I'm saying.
But
that's what I'm saying. So it's just a lot of questioning.
Sonia, I know you can't explain what his side is because you haven't really heard it.
I can't. All right. I don't know it. I don't know.
What I hear you doing is dismantling anything that the victims are saying.
Lord,
I'm just putting real life and common sense with it. And the thing of it is, when we went to court,
let me get my statement out. Hold on. You are dismantling everything these victims have said, but you're not dismantling the fact that he said, I ain't do it. Yeah, I've been to prison. Yeah, and look, I don't judge people who have something in their background. You and I talked about it. I have something in my background.
And I thank you for being transparent this whole time. And that's crazy. I never knew that because I never went this far. Sonya irritated me so much that I could not go that far into this interview. And I'm so mad that I didn't. Shout out to Natasha Razor Natasha Razor Glam. Y'all make sure y'all follow her on her channel. If y'all want to see some really good fashions that are very budget friendly being modeled, your Viber Natasha has it. Let me read it. She says, you look so cute. Really? I feel like I look tired, girl. I have not had a lot of sleep. Like I'm about to jump in the waters of Lake Minette. Oh my God. You're so funny and cute. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. You make an old girl feel good. Thank you. And shout out to my other girl, Eli, Simply the Best. She says, can somebody please explain why she is so overcommitted to him? I swear I don't get it. Baby, we can't explain that. We cannot explain. Well, you know what? Here it is. It's the pick-me behavior. It's a pick-me behavior. She, you know what? We called her out so righteously and with so many receipts. Are you okay, Muffin? Are you okay? Al? Well, stop running. We called her out with so many receipts in the most embarrassing way possible. She's committed to keeping it, you know, until making people believe that she's not the damn fool that we knew she was. That's what her commitment is. Her commitment is that and that only. That's all that shit is. Okay? She just wants to avoid accountability for what we said it is. She's a damn fool. She let this man manipulate her. Well, actually, no. I can't even say he manipulated her. She thought that she had a lick. She thought that she was positioning herself to be in Shirley Strawberry's place. She thought she had this man wrapped around her finger, and she didn't. And we said that she didn't from the very beginning. So she's, again, out to prove the blogger is wrong.
I got a lot of stuff in my background.
I work with people all the time that has something in the background. I believe in second chances, but that past still lived there. And if he didn't have anything else in between, that's great. He doesn't have
any convictions in between.
Doesn't have any convictions, but doesn't mean he wasn't committing crimes. But nevertheless, I don't have to assume. We do know that the crimes that he is being accused of right now, they're pretty heinous. Couple of them.
Fuck you, Wayne.
And so
that's all right. And those are the ones I focus on. And just like I said with the R charge, he didn't even know her at the time. So that dismantles that warrant.
Wait, again, you are taking his word for that.
Not his word. I actually got it from a family member first. He didn't say anything because he really wasn't thinking. And then I brought it to him and he was like, huh? I said, when did you meet her? Did you meet her before or after your son was shot? He said afterwards, because the son was the one who told me. That's who told me when they met. He didn't tell me.
But how?
He told me. He said,
But I just want y'all to realize that survivors are such good people. Okay. All Things Joy took up the slack for Jay jamming and has counted 510 likes. We're on 510 now. Get the likes up. Okay, we got 315 likes and 510 lives and 458 live viewers. Okay, let the likes match the lies. Okay, amen. Let the likes match the lies.
he didn't meet because I remember when that girl, how he told me how they went and how it went about this, that, and the other. And he was telling him the story. And he said, I knew when it happened, it was after I got shot. And I was like, well, when did that happen? He said, July. I said, well, the warrant says January. And then I looked at the lease and everything. And I was like, well, when did they move? Well, they didn't move from California until December 19th, 2019 is the lease. They were still living in California. Now, he was back and forth here and there, but they didn't sign a lease and move back to Atlanta till December 2019. So all that stuff she was saying, she was acting like his stuff was there. His stuff wasn't back in town yet. His stuff didn't come in town till after that. So they got the dates wrong, really wrong. And the thing about that is everybody knows COVID, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody knows what happened in 2020 because COVID. Oh, I remember that because that happened right there in COVID. So to say, okay, well, maybe it didn't happen in 19, maybe it happened in 20. Everybody knows what happened in COVID, the year of COVID. Everybody knows. So it's just a lot of, if you say it's the truth, then there wouldn't be no issues with what the paperwork is saying and what other things are saying. It would be this, that, it had to be that. So right now they're getting two things, which is, me and the investigator are getting two things, which will prove exactly what I'm saying. So,
okay, love. Thank you again for your super chat. It says poor people needing hope are the easiest targets. Yeah, those are the people that get. Think about in churches. Let's just take some of these churches where the pastors are
something today.
Taking all the money from the parishioners, and they're living the life, but the parishioners are struggling. That's typically what happens.
We're talking about 30 people that are, you got two women that are saying something. But the first woman didn't give him anything. It was transferred to a dealership. That's not him. And then the money orders and this is from court, and the money orders was transferred.
Baby, do not make me break that paperwork out and read it again. She wrote checks for him, and she did transfer money, and she gave him the title to her car. Stop it.
Transferred to 3 people, and him not being neither one of them.
Okay.
Only thing that he ever got was the stuff from the girl that he was dating. That's the only person that gave him stuff. Well, Calvin, they got proof that he gave him some stuff too in 2000 and I don't even know what year that was. Might have been 19 or something like that. I don't remember, but.
Well, let me ask you this. So, and this brings up a good point that I'm looking at this question. It says, ask her how she feel about Dre. So have you talked to Dre on the phone?
I only talked to Dre when he asked me to.
Okay. And you're in contact though, working for Ernesto. You have contact with Dre and with his son.
I only talk to them if he tells me to. Other than that, I do not talk to them.
And then there's
no need for me to talk to them.
Okay. Okay. Well, no, I'm just asking who you have.
Yeah, there's no need for me to talk to them unless he asks me. Okay. Other than that, no.
But my question is, the people that you do have contact with are people like Dre, his son Dion, his brother who is not really his brother, Lamont, right? His friend. Is there anybody? And you said his daughters. 2 of the daughters?
I spoke to 2 of his daughters.
2 of the daughters. Okay. And none. Well,
but only one since this happened. One I spoke to before this happened, but one since this happened.
How do they talk to you? Do they ever bring up his wife or anything like that?
We don't talk like that. It's always talking for the father. It's not talking like, hey girl, what you doing? This is Sonya, such and such. That's not the conversation. I'm only talking on behalf to get whatever message he want me to say to his people.
Okay. So
I'm not trying to insert myself in his life like that. You get me?
No, I can't tell.
I'm only dealing with him in his cases. I'm not trying to insert myself with friends and family and all of that type of stuff. So if he asks me to call somebody, I will. If they call me and ask me how he's doing or tell them to call me, then I do that. Other than that, I'm just the go-between sometimes. But other than that, that's it. I'm not trying to like, oh, let's have lunch and let's go here. And that. I'm not trying to do all of that.
So, are you on good terms with everybody that we just spoke of? Are you on good terms with Dre?
Me and him have not exchanged bad words or all that type of stuff.
Okay. What about the son?
No, I don't talk to his son.
Okay. I got to ask you, since we're bringing up the son,
can't talk because Dion will drag the what does Dion call her? That old weird hoe. Damn, and this is what, over a year old, and baby is still like what, almost maybe a little bit older than a year, right? It's still that way. Okay. Shout out to All Things Joy, keeping counting in chat. We are on live number 526, like number 335, dislike 1, and we have 465 live viewers. Okay. Let the likes match the lies.
About the kids because he don't want to be spoke on, so we ain't gonna talk about his son because his son don't want to be spoken on. So he can't speak on his son.
About the son. But I'm gonna talk about you. You was
about the comment I made on the jail call about the son.
Yeah.
It was nothing compared to what transpired before that on the other end. So let's say that was way lighter than what I got, and that was after what I got. So that's why that happened. Okay. And so he knew. He knew what happened. He knew what happened. So yeah, it was some words. So, and I was very polite on my end compared to what I got before that. So we'll just say that. So.
Okay, now this is kind of related to.
Ask her, is she only cordial with male friends' wife? Would she have went to dinner with Shirley knowing she slept with the husband?
Good question, Dr. Pat.
Like if y'all got cool.
So here's this, right? So here's this because this happened in my family's situation because my dad was doing some things and he kept bringing this chick around that he was dating around his main, and I was like, and I was like feeling some type of like you're not supposed to bring her around her. That's disrespectful, and she trying to act all buddy, but it was ongoing. It was ongoing, both situations. Now, because I was done and when I sit down, I probably would never go around her because my friendship with him was at a distance and it was going to be at a distance where I made sure I really never saw him. So it was no need for me to sit down and, do a dinner with, because I'm not his, in-person friend. I'm not, let's go hang out friend. So because we were just on.
Right, you in the closet under a box, baby. You hid. Don't nobody want to be seen with you publicly muffin. Don't nobody want to be walking the street with a teenage boy body woman. They don't do that.
On the phone, and I was in one city and he was in a whole nother city. And we basically only talked about RVs, RV parks, remodeling ambulances, buying ambulances. Like those were our conversations. We didn't
fucking in ambulances. Don't forget fucking in ambulances.
Have, boo conversations.
But Sonya, didn't you uproot your life from Florida to come back to Georgia?
No, I didn't uproot my life. My lease was up and I was going to go somewhere. I had one foot in Vegas and then I had another foot somewhere else because I like to move. But because this situation was going like it was going and he wasn't getting no type of support from his camp. he wanted me to come here just to help out with his cases.
Have
And
you
that's,
ever asked yourself why he can't get support from his camp?
Right.
there's a lot of people in jail that don't get support. Not saying they're
That
guilty, they
wasn't my
just don't get
question.
count.
I ain't talking about them other people. I'm talking about him.
He just
This
said
is
they're
the
not
dude.
built like that.
Wait,
And
let's
it
be
is a
clear
lot.
about something.
He told me they're not built like that. Like I said, they all said that he didn't do it and they felt he was innocent. They didn't say he was guilty and F him, and I ain't got time for that. They
Sonya,
just,
I ain't talking about what he told you. I'm asking
no,
you.
I'm talking about what I heard from
Okay,
them.
no,
I'm
no,
not
no,
talking
no.
about what he said.
No, don't worry about what you heard. Just think of it from this standpoint. You don't know him that well. Y'all supposed to be just friends at a distance. He's not your you just said out your own mouth. He's not your hangout buddy. He's not your in-person friend, but he's in jail. And you moved to Atlanta. Whether you were going to go somewhere else, this was a large reason why you came to Atlanta.
This was a
to
large
support
reason.
him.
Right.
Did you ever think to yourself, this dude who seems to be business minded, because he had he had the keys to the place you wanted to lease or buy. He's talked about his businesses. I'm sure he showed off some of his stuff. And you knew he was married. You know he's got kids and he's got friends and family.
Beauty. 35 grand on a lawyer.
Why would it be your obligation to move to this city to be his advocate when all these other people who know him better, known him longer, they don't?
Again, I know how this works because I worked in criminal law, and we had plenty of people that didn't do it. They had no family support but had family. You know, it's a lot of people that be in your face, and when you need them for like, oh, I need a ride, can you bring me here? Or I need a place to stay for a month. They be like, I can't do it. You know, but they're your friend, but they're your sister, but they're your brother, and it's something they could do. You know, and it's no fault of yours. You're in that situation, and they still don't look out. So sometimes it's not always about the fact that oh, it seems like he could have did it because nobody in his family want to help. No, it's just some people. I think the biggest issue, and I told him this, the biggest issue I feel is when they talk to him on the phone and they heard all the phone conversations. He doesn't come off distraught, sad, in need and all that other stuff. So in their mind, they thinking, oh, he good, you know what I'm saying? He got this, that, and the other, when in actuality, he's not. He's not good. He's very deeply depressed, terrified, and all of that. But a lot of the times, most of the times, he don't display that to them. He don't show weakness because he was always to strengthen the family. So in his mind, he don't want to get on the phone and show weakness to them. And so in their mind, they thinking he good. He don't, he all right for whatever I've been doing or not doing. He good because he's not sounding any type of way on the phone. They're not thinking this is hard.
They know they gotta know jail ain't easy.
No, trust me, if y'all pay attention to the phone calls that him and Lamont and all of them had, and how light they be talking to him. Oh man, you good? Ain't nothing going on out here. Like what? Okay, so I'm good in jail because ain't nothing going on out there. Like that doesn't even make sense to say that. Who wants to be in jail?
Sonia, think about what you're saying right now.
Right.
I know what I'm saying because I've been there, done that.
Listen to me. Here's the thing. You've got all of these excuses as to why he is probably not guilty, why nobody wants to support him, why he didn't tell you he was married, why you thought he was faithful, all of these things. And then he's got all of these charges now on top of it. And you're going based upon what you want to believe about this man, but not really what you know because you don't know him. And he's not going to tell you anything different than what you're saying. He's not going to say it. If let's say, for instance, let's say he is, for just argument's sake, let's say I'll be honest. I think he is a career criminal. That's my thought of it. Now, if he is a career criminal, don't you think part of that comes with lying and being a charmer and being slick?
Of course.
He slid your panties off the next day he saw you. And before you even got to ask him if he was married.
So, yeah. So, I mean, anything's possible. And like I said, I feel like if he's lying, it's a waste of my time. If he's lying about anything or if he actually did it. But right now, looking at everything, it just doesn't look like what they're saying is true. That's all.
Now let me ask
And
you
it's
this.
not, and again, it's not just me because I don't, when you're emotionally involved with people, you tend to be naive or one side or want to believe the person and all that type of stuff.
Exactly.
So I have, like I said, spoke to other people in law enforcement and in, the legal side of this. And just to say, okay, am I just dreaming? Am I just believing what he want me to believe because he's, da 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 da. And I know, people say things to keep people around. And like I said, they said, no, there's something with this. And that's not right. My attorney even said it, like, what the fuck is he in jail for? What? And I was like, man, like, this is crazy. Like, and I don't even understand. He was like, that's not probable cause. That's not a reason to search. And this done it. Like, it was just so much stuff with the case that I was talking to other people who would know, who do criminal law. Like I said, I talked to prosecutors, police, lawyers,
Mm-hmm.
tell me if I'm crazy. Tell me if, if I'm just thinking this because, I'm his friend, we cool. And you always want to think the best or believe people. And they all said the same thing. So no one told me anything different or try to say, oh, no, this, that. No. The only thing that one person said was they just got to prove criminal intent. He said, no, it don't sound that. Don't even sound like a crime. But then again, he said, that's just half the story. That even if you said that was true and that's how that transpired, he was like, it doesn't mean it's criminal.
This is so embarrassing. Y'all, the lengths that this woman is willing to go to make this man innocent to YouTube is insane. This is literally like it's an ego problem as well. Like, because at some point you just got to let the shit go.
They got to prove the criminal intent the situation.
Okay.
I don't think a person's going to waste 10 months of their time talking to one person if it was all about a money grab. Because the money that he made, he could have got a regular job working at McDonald's and made the same money. That's how much money he got in 10 months. He could have had a regular job and made that same money.
That man got over almost $200,000 from one woman and 20 something thousand from another. What are you talking about?
Money. So I don't see how that would make sense if I know I'm scamming to risk my freedom for money. I could have went and got a job and did.
You're saying Nesto only made the amount that oh, this is somebody else.
I'm saying the money that they're saying that they were trying to say, oh, it was a scam. I'm like, man, if it took me 10 months to get $8,000 or $6,000, I could have went and worked a job. Why would I just be around somebody, fake like I like them, sleep with them, get them a car, take their son places, do all of this stuff when I could have just had a regular job if this was a scam?
Because
why would I do all that?
He doesn't want a regular job. He doesn't. He probably ain't had.
I'm just saying. He could have did anything to make that money than have to do all of that if it was a scam. That's what I'm saying. I don't. Again, that's just my opinion. I could be wrong.
Sonya,
I could be wrong. Everybody want me to be wrong, and that's fine. Everybody got an opinion. They don't know any. They don't know any of the players, but what they're saying is true.
But
and
you
it's
don't
weird.
even know the main player.
I know the main player more than y'all know all the players.
No, I don't know, girl.
Because y'all don't know him.
Ho, you found out about the women through the warrants. You don't know this nigga either.
And y'all don't know them. So,
but
and like I said,
and his kids and his friends, they all know him.
Right.
And they ain't there. You are.
Well, if you listen to the reasoning on why I ain't gonna say because I don't want to talk about them. But anyway, it's whatever. I mean, after I say when we go to court, it'll show in court, and that's what I say. If it shows that he did that stuff, and you know they got.
That's one of my questions coming up. How are you gonna feel?
And I'm like, then he's gonna deserve to go to jail. And that's just what it is. He got to suck it up and go, man up and take it. And you wasting my time with the lies, but I get it because you don't even want to go through the crap alone.
What will be your lesson in it? Like, how do
I feel about the visual cause? They cool.
What'd you say? No,
that girl asked, how do I feel about the visual cause? I'm like, they cool.
That's the question I'm about to get to in a second.
But yeah, they cool.
Let me ask you this. Hell, you done made me lose my train of thought.
You know, we all. No,
I know you get me messing me up.
supposed to have your notes.
No,
Now,
I was
listen.
saying it. I didn't even know.
This is the thing with people. A lot of people, when they see somebody get accused, they automatically say, "Oh, they did it," and then their mind just sticks to that. And then when they throw out a pass, oh, he really did it because he got a pass. I got a pass, and I've been accused and took a plea on some shit that I didn't even do. But they, you know, this, that, and the other, and all this other stuff. So I know a lot of things from going through a lot of things, and I know that as bad as I was in my 20s, I would never do those things again. You know,
But
period.
my question for you right now is, and I just remembered, if you are to find out that he's guilty, or you see the evidence in your face, what will be the lesson for you?
What will be the lesson?
Yeah.
I mean, one thing I feel like right now, because I'm not doing anything, and I'm not really consumed with this as people are. I think people are way more consumed than I am, because again, I don't think about this situation unless I have to talk about it, which isn't even every day. Ooh, crap, that's stuff. Is it 10 o'clock? Crap.
Almost, yeah. I won't keep you much longer. Real quick. Because I did want to ask you specifically.
He's not going to be able to talk on this phone because it's on the same thing.
No,
that
you
me and
you can put him on speaker. Just put him closer. Is that him calling?
That was him. I'm gonna just I should have.
Y'all talk to Ernesto. I'm gonna ask about the jail costs. Thank you, pimp. Thank you. And actually, yeah, I want to ask you, how did you feel when you learned? First of all, forget this, the voice, the video calls. How did you feel initially when the phone calls showed up on the internet?
What now?
When the phone, is that him?
What happened?
No, I said, how did you feel when you noticed that those phone calls were on the internet?
Oh, when they hit the internet. So half the stuff that we talk about, I forget as soon as we talk about it because I ain't got no memory. And a lot of that's just keep him like occupied mentally because he's just sitting there and he'd be like trying to find something to talk about. You'd be sitting there like, you know, because we never really talked long on the phone. It was always, what's your day like? How's this? All right, click. That was it. It was never no long conversation. So once he went to jail, you sitting there like, okay, now you got to talk about something, you know? So I only seen him a handful of times. Ain't too much to talk about because, you know, what else he gonna talk about? We never had the type of situation where, oh, this, you know, it was just a breakfast call type scenario, right? So when they got out, I didn't think much of it because I didn't think, you know, we don't talk about nothing. So I wasn't thinking, you know, I still don't really think it's too much of it other than the encounter conversation. I don't think much of the conversations, you know. I don't know why. He don't know why. Hold on.
Thank you, everybody in the chat. Hi, everyone. Thank you for supporting. Please be kind.
I don't know, just like he don't know why people are so like, why is it so interesting? Because again, it's not like, you know, 99% of the time that we talk, it's like boys. Like we don't be on there, boo boo and miss you and I can't wait.
You make up your mind, Muffin, because at the beginning of this call, y'all was texting like girls. Now the calls are like boys. Like, girl, make up your mind, Muffin.
Wait to hold you. It's not that type of conversation. You know, it's just how's Corey, what's going on, and whatever's happening in my life, which ain't too much because I don't do too much of anything. Nothing's going on in his life because he's in jail. So it's basically current events and whatever you can kind of like try to stir and talk.
You weren't freaked out. You weren't nervous. You weren't upset or mad when you learned that they were out on the internet. That's what you're saying?
So it is upsetting to have them out there. But if they listen to him and let it go, that would have been cool. It's the fact that you keep hearing people just ride it and just keep wanting to know. And he be sitting there like, why are you asking me something when you don't even know me? Regardless of the fact, it's one thing when one thing if I was the one that came out and brought, you know, the situation now. So I brought it out. So now it's like, well, you put yourself out there, and it's like, no, I didn't. I had to eventually say something because the bloggers kept dragging and calling me all kind of hoes, just and kept trying to
Not hoes.
interpret conversations to say, oh, this is what they're talking about. Oh, this is who she's talking about. And I'm saying like, no, that's not, and no, that's not who I'm talking about. And it just kept with this whole narrative. And then so we were like, okay, so if the calls die down as far as the views, then it's gonna just fade away. But I kept watching the numbers and the numbers and the numbers, and I was like, man, this ain't going nowhere. He was like, what? I'm like, man, 30,000, 40,000 views. Like, what the hell? I was like, why are these people still listening to this stuff? It's like not exciting. No one I knows listens to the calls or even know about the internet.
Baby, let me tell you something. All your friends listen. All of your friends listen to these calls. Your cousins, baby, your mama, her husband, your auntie, your cousins, every one of them is listening, baby. All of them. You're cheering too.
The stuff on the internet. My daughter, nobody. They know, but they don't pay attention. They don't open it up. They've never looked at anything. These are all people I do not know that watch this stuff. No one else watches this stuff. I don't even watch it unless somebody calls and tells me, you know, to watch it, because I'm trying to figure out what, like, it's just two people talking on the phone. Okay, so what? He's still married. You know, people who's married. Okay, so 50% of all marriages, somebody's cheating. Y'all act like that just never occurs. So that's not even something to make it look like.
No. Let's not dismiss it like no one thinks it
But
occurs.
it's not a big.
That's why we don't understand. Wait, Sonya. We know it occurs, which is why in our 50s we should wonder if these men are married when we meet them. Right. And then when we find out if they're married.
Have that problem going. That's why that could be why I didn't think nothing of it, because in all my life of dating, I never ran across the situation. A married man never stepped to me that I knew eventually was married and said anything to me. So a married man could have, but he probably never got anywhere with me for me to find out eventually he was married. So I've never had that for me to try to think about it, and nor has anybody that I've talked to, I mean, you know, the girls that I deal with, ever had that. So maybe it was lack of thinking about it because I never went through it, but now I do because been there, done that. So it's like, now I purposely go and I make sure, look, hey, are you like, when was your last girlfriend then? You know, because there's one guy was talking to me online and he was all like, what's up? I want to see you. And I go on his page and 2 months ago, he was putting a ring on somebody talking about, I love her, my mama love her, and all this, that, and the other. And I'm like, why does he keep trying to come and see me? And he just put a ring on somebody's finger 2 months ago.
Because he know you a hoe. And like niggas like that are going to go to the path of least resistance. They're going to go to the woman that they know is easy and it's going to comply.
So I'm like, I'm screenshotted. I sent it to him. Dude called me like, oh, you want some childish shit, this, that, and I'm like, why are you giving it to me? I just want to understand. You said you single, but here you are 2 months ago putting a ring on somebody's finger, talking about my mama love her and she's everything to me and da-da-da-da-da. And I'm trying to figure out what's going on. And you trying to come at me like I'm wrong. I'm like, look, or whatever, you know, so it's like.
And that would be my point. That would be my point.
So again, I didn't think about stuff like that because I didn't experience it, but I did experience it just with this situation. So now I'm like, dude, like, you know, I question it. I question.
So back to my original question. So you weren't feeling any way about those the phone calls because you knew they were recorded, and even though you didn't know they would be on the internet, you didn't trip so much. You guys were careful about what you talked about. However, when you got to the video calls, did that surprise you?
It's the same conversation.
But I'm gonna tell you, on the first or second video call, one of the things you said was, look, we can't talk on the phone, so let's talk here. Because I don't think you thought that those calls were gonna make
because it was right. Because because the only thing that was a difference was YouTube. That was the only difference. That's why. Because the prosecutors on all the calls, the prosecutors on all the text messages. Well, we know that. Yeah. So the only difference was on that. The jail calls was certain things he was like, he couldn't say because he had a meeting with the lawyer and he was like, I can't talk to you on the phone about it. You got to come here and I'll talk to you about it, because he didn't want it all over YouTube. Right. But again, the prosecutor's always on the phone. So it's not like it's that big of a deal. It's just certain things you don't want.
Right. And you
You
guys
don't want on in the YouTuber. But again, it still wasn't no intimacy type of conversation. It was just a conversation that he just didn't want all over like YouTube. That's the thing. You don't want it all over, but at the same time, it's because I know it's not, you know, I don't feel like the conversations are all that deep and this, that, and the other, where people run the way they run with it. And the way they just keep, every time something plays, a blogger want to go and do a whole tutorial on a phone call between two people they don't even freaking know. And it's just, that part is just what's crazy. It's one thing that they play them. Okay, you listen to it, it's whatever. But when they try to go, let's break it down and see, she's talking about such and such, and then they put the headline and nothing matches. And I'll be like, what? I had never talked to that person in my world. And I go play it. And I'm like, no, they didn't sit there and try to make it seem like I'm talking to such and such when I'm not. And I'm talking about somebody else. But apparently it's only one person that I could know that does this. And it's just crazy to me. But then it's being messy because I see, which I didn't know before I got caught up in the YouTube streets, that they say these things, because I used to watch the stories on YouTube and I used to sit there and believe that stuff, like, wow, for real? That's messed up, you know, until it happened to me. And I was like watching it and just listening to it like, that's a lie. That's a lie. These people be lying for real, like, because he used to tell me.
Tell me this. With that said, tell me 3 lies that they've said about you that you've heard out in the internet.
Oh my God, you want me to remember?
Or at least
a phone call. Me and him was talking about somebody else. He said it was me and him talking about his wife, that his wife was calling me and her was on the phone. I was like, what? Well, never talked to her ever. I was talking about somebody else that was in radio, and it wasn't her, because I know people in radio. And when that girl was telling all that stuff about me, when she was trying to break my life down, and this is this, and you know, my daughter dances, I dances, what else did she say that was a lie? She said some other stuff. I can't remember all of that.
But that mistake is an easy one, because you worked in a strip club. So they probably just assumed if you're in the strip club, you're a stripper.
She knew. She was saying it to be a dig, because she was saying I was up on the pole with dudes filling and fingering me and stuff. She was saying it to be nasty. And she kept harping on it. And
I know that there was someone, a weird person that was also like piggybacking on whatever, you know, we would report or whatever, but I definitely did. And there's only one, to me, there's only one idiot that like makes up stuff, obviously, right? And I mean, we all obviously know who that person is. That's that one idiot or whatever who would make up like details and stuff like that. But I would have never said that, because I don't even want to think about that. The only way that I would say something like that is if I actually saw it or there was evidence or whatever. But yeah, I thought that she might have been a stripper, and I was being really cheeky, honestly, when I said it, when I found out about that. But once I realized that she wasn't, I did take it back. But I'm not taking back that her daughter is the stripper. She's damn near naked. I can show you pictures of her with just covering her nipples, and she's serving drinks and she's dancing on a bar and she's working. So while she may call herself a bartender or whatever, baby, it's not too much difference.
I was like, and you hear me when I'm talking, you know, I've never worked in a strip club. You can't find no pictures of me in those strip club outfits to even run with that.
If you want to know who said that, just think about the one. Okay, there's only been a few people in our sector who are giving beef sector, who don't really have content. And one of them is she would make up lies and stuff like this about what Sonya was doing, make, you know, salacious titles. Someone who has like literally mirrored every content creator and got upset whenever she got called out on. So she's mad at all of us. So there you have it.
So when I'm talking about strip clubs, anytime I ever talk about it, I talk it from a manager's point of view. I don't never talk about, because my customers used to come in. I never said that. So that's the only thing that dancers, entertainers say is my customers. When my customers come in and see me, that's dancer conversation. I've never said that. You know, I've only talked about working in the aspects of an owner or when I used to manage. So it's not an easy thing to
How are you an owner? Why is she always trying to act like she owns? Girl, you don't own nothing, not even your boobs anymore.
say type of scenario. And I was almost 40 when I started working in strip clubs. So who is 40 starting to strip? I know strippers that's been stripping and stripping till they 40.
Yeah, but they weren't looking at your length of employment, probably, or the years there. I don't know what they were looking at, but they obviously knew you worked.
She wasn't looking at anything but to be messy, because the same time she said that, she called me a hoe. So she again was being messy deliberately.
Well, they're being messy because you with a married man.
Don't matter. It ain't their business. It ain't the way they was trying to insert themselves. They're acting like.
Girl Hirsch, okay. Shout out to my girl Honeydew Brown. She says, this is for you having the strength to listen to such foolishness for so many years. But this bald-headed heifer, hold on, let me put it back up here. But this bald-headed heifer got to take the cake. This is so sad to be this old and this lost over plastic dick. Baby, like flesh and blood dick could never make me this damn dumb. Okay? No way.
It's
are
me
they
and them.
inserting themselves, Sonia? Or are they just giving commentary on your life because you're involved with a person who's connected to a public person who's
It's one way. It's one thing to report. It's one thing to just report it and just leave it like whatever it is. Like, you know, they from what we hear on the phone calls, you know, it seems like they had an intimate moment or two, you know, but listening to the phone calls
Today you
after
told
that.
him in the video.
Is she trying to diminish their marriage by saying it seems like they had an intimate moment or two? Just because he treated you like the harlot that you were, and he did carry it with his wife somewhat respectfully. Not that it's a big deal because he's still a deceitful piece of shit. But women that hold themselves in a certain type of esteem get treated better than you. What you call an intimate moment is him talking about your titties. Girl, and who ain't gonna talk like, girl, stop. Lord have mercy. Shout out to All Things Joy. She's at 599. So they have clocked you with over 599 lies already, and probably let you slip with a few.
Your call today, you told him that he's yours. He's your man.
Yeah, I didn't listen to that. But I did. But did you listen to it, or you just read the heading? Because on the other one, when it says Sonya says she's YouTube famous, and I'm like, when did I say that? And so I actually watched it. I did say it, but they put it on the heading like that's all I talked about. You get me? So when they put it on the heading, you're thinking that's all I'm talking about is you're mine, and da 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 da. So I didn't listen to that video.
You gotta draw the people in, girl. You gotta draw
but still, don't be messy, and that's the problem I got now with phone calls from prison. Is now they jumped on the messy wagon. It was one thing when they was just saying Sonya talks about da 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 da, and that's fine. You know what I'm saying? Tell it like it.
To say that people should not be messy as you engage in a relationship with someone's husband is insane to me.
Yeah, but when you're trying to put all that, they don't have to because they get in the traffic anyway. They don't even have to be messy.
They want more traffic, girl. This is a business. And it ain't our fault that Ernesto
is a business, but it ain't reality TV.
It is. It's better.
It's not something we signed up for. And when you sign up for reality TV, you sign up for people to be in your business and judge you and talk about you. It's part of it. You get a check for it. This is something that we didn't sign up for. This is something that we was dragged out of.
Muffin, when you heard your voice on those calls on that channel the very first time, and you kept calling knowing good and hell well people was interested in listening to the shit, you signed up. You signed up and gave permission every time.
And then they want to drag it and make him look a certain way, make me look a certain way. They was coming for the wife for like 8-9 months. They was coming for her. You know what I'm saying? It was just them trying to just be overly messy and nasty with no consideration that these are real people going through stuff. And
that was a real wife whose husband you were fucking. Okay.
You know, regardless of if somebody feel like he did it or not, you still got to just wait and see what the outcome is. You can't sit there and prejudge a situation that has no evidence. All it has is a couple of comments, and then he can't say anything to try to, you know, dispute the comments. He can't say anything right now. So all it is some comments that when we go to court that has no supporting evidence. So like I said, we went to court and they had supporting evidence of anything to say, okay, that's true, or he did that. Fine, no problem. But every time we go to court, I'm like, why are they charging him? What? That don't even make sense. And it's crazy because they sat there and they said all this stuff and they was like, well, his name's not on any of it. I'm like, then why are you charging him? Oh, well, that happened in Kentucky. Then why are you charging him? And it wasn't even sent to him. It was sent to this company and not him. And what happened after? We don't know what happened. We just know they went up there and this is what transpired. Yeah, but that's not a crime. What happened after that? We don't know. We didn't do any investigation after that. It's not a crime to go out of town and to a dealership and somebody wire money. That part's not a crime.
Do y'all hear this fool? This is insane the way she's making up all this shit.
Where's the crime? They
Okay,
didn't say.
so
They couldn't say.
we need to take a quick break. I just want to ask you a couple more questions about one. How long will you be in this? You can think about it. How long is going to be long enough before you say, okay, I've done all I can do? Okay, so think about that. And while you're thinking about that, I just want to thank the folks who are giving some super chats. They have comments to make. You know, is it a lady? A lady 747 says cons run several cons at once, and she knows it. That's what. And look, I know it. I know that they will run
proven guilty. Whatever that happened to that.
Say that one more time.
Innocent until proven guilty. Innocent until proven guilty.
Right.
I do believe in innocent until proven guilty, but I also
I can't tell.
No. I also believe that there's too many. Look.
That's fine.
Wait, Sonya. Hold on. Just because I'm not gonna buy in completely that this man is innocent doesn't mean I think everybody who is charged with a crime is absolutely guilty. We know that that's not the case. But at the same time, this is a man. I just don't understand why a man who isn't rich himself, he's not like highly educated, he's not like highly powerful, he's not a huge community activist or a politician. Why pick on Ernesto? Why would all of these different entities, all of these people and the justice system point him out? And of course, yes, his connection to Steve Harvey by way of his wife, sure, that's how we found out about it. And that's why we even care. But the truth is, they ain't going after none of them people that's around them. They're going after him. So at what point do you say to yourself, okay, I've done all I can do? Or what if they delay a trial for another couple of years? How long are you willing to wait to make this choice? That's my question. So with that said, while you're thinking on that, let me say a couple things to folks that are giving super chats. Thank you, the Tea Lounge. Tea Lounge asked this is kind of similar to my other question. Says, when did she need to be Dude's personal? Oh, okay. So when did you start sort of stepping in to help him as his advocate? Thank you, Tea Lounge. But wait, hold on. You can answer that when we come back. We're going to take a real super quick break. We'll be back in 30 seconds, y'all. If you would like to donate to the channel, you may do so obviously through Super Chat, but also PayPal and Cash App. And you can check me out right here.
All right.
Okay.
No.
Wait, what did she say?
We'll be back in 30 seconds, y'all.
That was quick.
Question at hand. How long do you think you will ride with Oh Boy?
As long as it takes, apparently.
So let's say he gets convicted. Will you stay in Atlanta or wherever?
Oh no, I'm not staying in Atlanta.
Okay.
No. No.
Are you willing to wait to make moves until after he the determination that's been made around his cases?
No, because I feel like the stuff that I can do, I don't have to really be in town to do it.
Okay.
I can do it from anywhere, actually. I don't necessarily have to be here for all of that. The main thing was checking up on the attorneys and making sure they were doing what they were doing, and doing whatever investigative work that I could do on my end for him. That I know they are not doing, because there's a lot of things that the attorneys aren't doing that they can't do.
What if he gets convicted? God forbid. What if he gets convicted and then he's gonna go and appeal? Would you stay, or still stand by him through the appeal and all of that?
So if the evidence shows he did it, and I only really focus on the serious charges. The other stuff at this point, I don't really focus on those. I'm just really focused on the more serious 2 cases that he has that can really put time on him. Like I said, the first one, I don't really concern myself with that one, because like I said, he didn't even know her at the time. So, and me and the attorney was talking on that. And again, we gotta wait in order for 2 things to come up to even show actually, which are gonna be the phone records, which is gonna prove when they started talking. The phone records are gonna show that. Phone records are gonna ping where he was at the time, that they said that happened. So, and then the other one, once the IT guy goes through, like I said, we were looking at other warrants and how they were read, how they were specifically detailed, and how this one was so general. And they were saying that the dates was the dates he was incarcerated instead of the actual dates that the downloads would show on the computer.
Why is she saying that the warrants weren't detailed? I think they were very detailed. So detailed that I was able to make like videos from them. Like, stop, girl.
So again, that's a huge red flag too, because we were looking at other warrants from the same county and how they were specifying with these other cases and this, that, and the other. But on his, they got the dates he was in jail instead of the dates that the computer would show, and then other things about it. So those 2 are like more so the ones that I focus on more than anything, because the other ones, he had been in jail 18 months on that. And like I said, when I was talking to the attorney about it, it's basically a he say, she say, and they can bring out the text message to kind of show the nature of the conversation, to see if anybody could prove, which they didn't in court, to say that this is why this happened, or this was the intention when this person did this and he didn't come through. You can see it in the conversations. They didn't show any of that in court. They just left it at a statement. That's it. She didn't even bring the recorded statement in. And then she tried to say, well, I don't know, because I wasn't the officer that interviewed her. And I'm like, so you coming here with no recording. You're not the officer. You brought no documentation. You're just sitting here quoting something out the air. And that's crazy to me. I'm like, what? So it's just a lot of stuff. And again, dealing with the police department that's handling this, why are they on everything when only one thing happened in Roswell? Everything else happened all over the place, but no other police department is on it, nor is the county. So it's out of jurisdiction. Like the 2 attorneys said prior to the 2 that he have now, something that's not right with this case. It's like it's a political. They feel like it's a political driven situation.
But that's my point. How is it possible that this is political? Like, who is Ernesto?
Right.
I mean, so you know what I mean? Like, who is he? It would be like if a bunch of folks start doing that shit to me. Like,
he is what you call an easy mark, because he has a criminal past. And if I'm looking for an easy mark, because you do have police officers that arrest people for career advancement. You do have officers that do things unlawful, just because they got a quota to meet.
But this requires so many people, Sonia, to be involved. Like you got
Again,
victims.
like I said,
You got
you got them saying one thing.
And baby, once I called Benjamin Crump and he wasn't interested in the case, I knew it wasn't a big deal then. Y'all remember when I called Ben?
And he's saying he doesn't even think the ladies even said it like they said it. He said, I don't think they said that, and I don't think they said it the way they're saying it. He thinks the conversation they had was twisted and turned into a crime. That's what he thinks.
so
I mean, like I said, everything right now is just speculation because there's no solid proof that was showed up in court or anything that they're saying.
yeah.
And this is all just, again, my perspective, not his, because he can't talk.
Hey, Kelly girl.
Only thing he could say
That's
is,
the thing, Sonia. So let me ask you this. What if he, just for argument's sake, let's say he did it. What do you expect him to say while he's in jail to you about these things?
Right.
if he knows he did it and he knows they can prove he did it. I never asked him, did you do it? For him to say, I didn't do it.
I thought you said, though, he said that he didn't do it.
He did say he didn't do it. I never asked him, did you do this? You get me? For him to say, I didn't do that. You get me? So if he felt that he did it, I don't know. I can't say. All I can say is, he says he's never lied to me. And y'all gonna say, well, he's a liar because he lied.
Girl. What?
Like, we all tell lies, but there's certain things we won't lie about, and there's certain people we've never lied to. So to say a person, everybody on the history of breathing.
It's nuts. She really thinks that she's special.
I heard him lie to you on the call. You know what call I heard him lie to you?
What do you say?
The call when you were talking to him and you said, when you were reading off the warrant or a charge or something you were reading, and you said, yeah, you were doing, it says you were here on this day with this one, and you were over here at this one on this day.
You to be
and
faithful?
You said, wait, for the audience. You said, oh, this is why I couldn't catch up with you, because you was busy. You was running. You had all this going on. That's what you said. So to me,
no, I couldn't have never said that. Because I know in May when I was in town for 2 weeks, but I didn't call him. I was in town for 2 weeks. I saw him once, but I didn't call him. I didn't call him to come over and he said, or come around me. He couldn't do it. I didn't do that. So I don't know. I got to listen to that, what you're talking about, because I know when I was in town in May in 22, it was never, I saw him once, but I didn't try to see him again, and he couldn't. But I could have said that. I mean, you would know, I don't know. I'm trying to think, why would I say that? Because I know I only saw him one time.
Because that was your man in your mind, or y'all was talking?
No. Only time I caught real feelings for him was July, and in August I woke up, or maybe a week. It was the end of July, and then we kind of had a conversation like about how we were just friends. Let's just leave it at that situation.
Oh, we gonna hear that call? Because today
y'all don't hear half the calls. I don't know why.
What I'm telling you is the call we heard today, which was in August, we heard you say, you mind.
You mind? Yes, the girl just sent me that, because I got people that send me stuff that they follow the stuff and they'll watch it and send me stuff. So she just sent me that, and then she sent some stuff that these people was talking about. And
that was just in August. So that's after.
That's what I'm saying. July, August. Yeah, July, August was in feelings, and I think because that's when he got the R charges, and it was just a lot of over support and sympathy and all. It was just a lot going on in July, August, and then he was feeling some type of way because he stopped speaking in June, and then this hit in July, and then, his go-to wasn't his go-to, so it was just a mess. But like I said, that's my boy.
Thank you, love. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No. Lord. So okay, but I heard you say on. Well, I didn't hear it yet,
right?
Because I have to watch the one today. But I know the way you were talking on that call that I mentioned. That tells me that's your man.
Cute.
Y'all
Yeah.
flirting. That tells me y'all
They
got
caught
something,
on the
you know.
jumbo
And I just
line.
wonder how you
You just
cut it.
want us to be in a relationship for whatever reason. That is my friend.
Okay. Okay.
And
Boy,
that is my friend.
where
Okay.
my lie counter
Is there
at?
And
anything that could keep him from not being your friend? Is there something you could find out that would cause you to say, yeah, this was a mistake, or he's really not my friend?
like if he actually did the stuff, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the thing of it is the other stuff. It don't make sense. So I can't even put that even out there to say if he really did the earth stuff, because the simple fact that the dad was involved with the situation with the girl, and the dad was nobody to play with, and ain't nobody gonna sit there and risk a situation where you got all these other things you doing out here and play with your life like that with somebody's daughter that you dealing with. So that right there, I can't even like just in common sense think that. And then, like I said, the dates aren't even matching up on that. So it's just like I just really feel like that's just some bullshit. But and then the possession thing, like I said, that don't even. So like, let's say if there was any truth to him finessing the females out of women, out of money,
Mm-hmm.
I would have to hear both sides to kind of get a kind of thing, because like I said, me and him didn't do money. I didn't ask, I didn't give. We made sure it was none of that. It was no favor. It was nothing but strict conversation. It was no, can you come get me and take me this and bring me this and pay my bills? It was none of that. None of that. So for them to be, with them other situations that he had going on, just reading the warrant,
Mm-hmm.
because he hasn't spoken on anything, but just reading the warrant, the girl, doing all kind of stuff. It's more to it. I really feel like it just seems, but when I say, oh, you're bashing the victims, no, it's just with history. When you got women, if people are really pay attention to criminal law and criminal charges and all these things that men go through with females that get in their feelings. And the first thing when they do is they run to the police and exaggerate a story or make up a complete story or tell a one-sided story that sounds, this way when it actually is not, when the whole story gets out. It just, I just have to wait and see. I just really don't feel like, and everybody try to say, well, he got all these things. He had to do one of those things. And I've dealt with cases where we had guys kind of similar to this, not exact, and dude didn't do none of it. He just got caught up with a bunch of mess, and it just ended up like, see, like, so as bad and as crazy as things can look, sometimes you can get a turnaround that can be like, man, I didn't even see that coming. And so, or it could be the other way around. I just don't see it, but the way everything is reading and the things that she could have brought in court, she purposely didn't bring, that could have actually just nailed it. She didn't bring no text messages. She just brought up a statement. That was it. She didn't bring any type of supporting evidence to say, see, here's the conversations they're having. You see right here where she's asking for this and he's this. So you can see right there that she's saying this and he's responding to this, like nothing. So if you ratting on zero, and then I'm looking at it, I already know from one girl going on the page talking about, I got to tell you about your husband. Why are you going on trying to tell the wife on the husband now? What you bitter about? You
Is that
mad.
someone being bitter or someone saying, hey, sis, let me give you a heads up?
No, because of what she talked about, because she ended up talking to me afterwards, and what she talked about, it wasn't that. It was on some bitter stuff. This dude is ghosting me. This dude ain't calling. He ain't taking my calls no more. And I knew that's what it was, because he was in jail. And
Ghosting her with her money. Stop it, girl.
she didn't know. And he ain't answering my calls. So now let me go, since, oh, you want to play them games? All right, bet. Let me fix this for you. So let me go to the wife and say some things.
Couple of quick questions. One, so Sonya didn't go on Nesto's social media and see his wife all over the
Right.
social media. So when you guys were talking
After
at
he
first,
told me he was married, I did. Sure
okay,
did see it. Yeah.
and
Who believes that she didn't start researching this Negro until afterwards? Hello, Barbara. This is Shirley. Thank you so much for the super chat. She says, "This is Shirley." She says the Beetlejuice shrunken head is all I'm seeing, especially when she turned her head to the side. Go to the wall. It is giving shrunken head though, and our lie count is up to 637. Jesus.
the other thing says you inserted yourself not thinking about the wife. Did you
He
ever
asked
ask?
me, he asked me to help him. He asked me to do the legal side of it because he knew that everybody in his camp wasn't really familiar with this type of stuff and didn't know what to look for. And
That was the real you in, Sonia.
this was in September because I talked to him in August. So the first couple of weeks, he was cool at first. And then we got to talking and I was like, well, had your lawyer come to see you? And he was like, no. And I was like, why hadn't your lawyer come to see you? He was like, I don't know. And then it just wasn't, the lawyer just wasn't doing anything. And nobody was calling and checking the lawyers to say, you need to be doing this, you need to do it. None of that. It was just nothing, no communication with the attorneys. And I was like, man, listen, you can't. I was in a hospital and everybody that, with the exception of 2 nurses and 1 doctor, everybody else on that staff need to be fired. I said, people be taking jobs they have no business doing. And it's crazy. You would say this person's a lawyer and he gonna do what he's supposed to. People don't do what they're supposed to. They'll take your money like he's going through now with the one lawyer that took his money and did nothing. Still hasn't done anything since June on his cases that could, and it's things that can be done because of the time frame. He's done nothing. So I know that, and I know that from working with lawyers. They take the money and they be like, oh, I ain't here. And, I don't want you to call and they don't do the work. So I know you got lawyers that'll take the money and sell themselves and not do anything. And my whole point to him was, what are your people doing? Are they there for you? Are they doing everything in the capacity? And he was like, no, this is not them, or they don't have the time. He was just telling me whatever the scenarios was people. And I was just like, well, let me know. Because he looked out for me when I was in the hospital.
Insane.
But let's go back to that real quick.
How can someone look after you when you're in the hospital during COVID? You couldn't even get in people, like, girl.
Out for you when you were in the hospital. He texted you. You couldn't talk. He was texting you.
Mm-hmm. He didn't know I couldn't talk until like a couple of days later when I was like, I got a tube in me.
But
and
you
I
act like
don't talk
he
about
was there. Wait. But when I hear you say the way he showed you, that way he was there for you, because I've heard you say that, in other interviews and stuff. My thought is, I didn't realize it was COVID. In my mind, that means he's coming to the hospital. He's sitting with you. He's spending time with you. He's, helping you with your meals or, just helping you
I
pass
only seen him
time.
a couple of
And
times in
I
life.
understand. Wait. I understand he couldn't do that because it was COVID, which makes it even worse, which means now you couldn't even talk to him on the phone because you had the tube. You were texting. So how was this nigga really doing anything for you?
Trust me, when you sitting up there laid up thinking about you ain't gonna make it out of here and you dying and people that you've been talking to, aren't even picking up the phone to say anything to you via text, via nothing. And then this person you just met who don't owe you anything. And we had already had a conversation before I even got sick. We just gonna be cool at a distance. Don't ask me for shit. I'm not gonna ask you for shit. So he knew it wasn't not like a come up. Like after I get through this, he already knew you ain't ever getting anything and I don't ever want anything from you. So all that was established before I got sick.
Nothing but your little raggedy ass. That's all he wanted from you. Okay. Baby, you was a mark. Okay. He thought you had some money because you're a habitual liar. He thought he was going to be able to get money from you.
I just feel like he didn't have to be there at all. What was the point in calling and asking every day, are you okay with the doctor saying?
Some men are patient as a motherfucker.
Even when I got out, he never asked me for anything. When I got out,
there was no time. It wasn't a lot of time in between. You were on the move and you're back and forth, and he got other women. He got C2 child. He got a lot going on. Wait, let me ask you this too. Well, let me read these super chats real quick. Fedora wants to know, do you have access to any evidence that's been presented? Sounds to me like you're saying there no evidence.
He don't have any, and it's another person that's working on it and trying to get stuff. And again, nothing's coming up on that end. He keeps calling. I got
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll let you go.
Yeah,
You got to go right now. Is that him? Uh-oh. Did I lose her? Oh, that must be him calling. I'm going to take her down, put her in the back.
It's only a few minutes.
Anyway, well, y'all.
Copy.
Thank y'all for hanging in here with me. Hi, Toya. Thank you, Toya Abstract. Great show, V. Lenore. Sonya, please seek therapy. This Dusty has a pattern of it. Sad that your self-esteem is so low that you can't see truth.
Right.
I'll be honest. I know that people have a lot of negative opinions about Sonya. I feel like, I don't know her, but I feel like in this case, I mean, she's possibly a victim as well. I mean, the difference is she may have signed up for it.
Right.
But I do appreciate her transparency tonight. As much as she did share, I had a couple more questions that I already knew the answers to, but I wanted to see how much she wanted to share with the audience. But to all of you, thank you. I appreciate she spent 2.5 hours with us. Ernesto was calling her before, and she was going to have him, come on. He can't really talk, but I was curious to hear what he'd be willing to share about his experience so far. That would have been interesting. But anywho, thank you all for kicking it with me. Oh, also, there's some folks that
Okay, so I guess that's the end because it's only like 5 minutes left, and Sonya, I know, is not coming back. Great job, V. Lenore. Okay. So okay, I was just gonna come to you, girl. So we have a final lie count. We have 2.5 hours with 644 lies. And we have heard 644 lies. We have 379 likes, 1 dislike, 484 live viewers currently. That 1 dislike cracks me up because it's like every time, no matter where I am, that 1 dislike is coming. Okay. Hey, boo. Anyway, that was a good job of V. Lenore. Like, child. A mess. Okay. 644 lies. That is crazy. Anyway, look, y'all know tomorrow what it is. We are going to have our marathon. Okay. So be ready tomorrow evening. We will do no less than 3 calls. We might do 4 or 5. So y'all be ready for tomorrow. And I've already found one that I have to do that I haven't heard in a long time. That is really good because these things are not aging well. I will see you guys later. Thank you guys for coming through. I appreciate and love all of you guys. Thank you for the support. I am so sleepy. It sounds like my bully is sleeping as well. Okay. So I will see you guys a little bit later, honey. But what did y'all think? Listening to that now, I'm like, she should feel really dumb. Cause like as much as she likes to credit me with why people don't like her, after listening back, girl ain't got nothing to do with me. It ain't got nothing to do with you, honey. It's all you, Muffin. It's all you. Anyway, let's get out of here. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Turn me up, I like my money like I like my niggas. Green face card, never decline, know what I mean. Act up and you gon' make me make a scene. Only time you hear my voice is when they play me on the screen. Got bad habits, I'm not the one you wanna keep. She a trap star, put that lady on a tree. Got her ass so shook, she shaking like an apple tree. Yeah, this life ain't meant for you, but baby girl, it's meant for me. This lifestyle ain't meant for you, it's meant for me. This lifestyle got girlies clocking on my teeth. This lifestyle can get you far, know what I mean. This lifestyle ain't meant for you, it's meant for me. What it do? This my boo, she from the south. We running man just like these bitches run they mouth. I got the juice, but they still claiming it's a drought. If I say I'm coming through, I'm about to flip the house. That boy crazy, say he tryna have my baby. Hold on, Slim Shady, just like Mariah, drive him crazy. Got him stressed, make him feel it in his chest. Ask him how it feel, just like a bullet with no vest. This lifestyle ain't meant for you, it's meant for me. This lifestyle got girlies clocking on my teeth. This lifestyle can get you far, know what I mean. This lifestyle ain't meant for you, it's meant for me.